A very good morning to all of you present here, and a very warm welcome to all of you. On behalf of United Gaonkaris, at first, I'd like to apologize for the delay. I'm truly happy to welcome all the Gaonkars, shareholders, components, guests, and well-wishers who have gathered here today for this meaningful fellowship. A new year is always a reminder that we are given another opportunity to reflect, to learn, to improve, and to build a better future together. Today's fellowship is not just a meeting, but a platform to exchange knowledge, share ideas, and have deeper conversations on topics that matter, especially related to our land, our roots, and our responsibilities. We are grateful to each one of you for taking time out to be present here and to be part of this initiative. Before we begin the program, as we always do, let us first seek God's blessings for a peaceful and successful event. I now invite Father Agnel Gomes to kindly come forward and lead us in the opening prayer, followed by the Gaonkari anthem, for which we shall remain standing. I'd like to kindly request all of you to rise.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. God our Father, we thank you for this morning. We thank you for this gathering of the various communities and the various organizations that are rooted in Goa. We thank you for this opportunity for us to come together to discuss and deliberate on issues related to our communities, and especially on issues related to Goa, whether it's land, water, air, the whole environment. As we deliberate, I ask your special blessings on each one of us, that we may be generous with our opinions, that we may discuss this for the greater good of Goa, greater good of the environment, that we may come with a generous heart, keeping our individual personal interests or egos aside, and look at what is best for the environment, what is best for Goa, what is best for our nation. I ask your special blessings on each and every one gathered here. Bless their families. Bless the various communities, that they may also work towards this common good. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Ami Gaonkar, Ami Goenkar, Ami Nisput Goinche, Koni Dusman Pude Ailyar, Alchana Wangsole, Devan Zuminam Kanilya, Adlia Niti Samaundolya. Devache Kaide, Ami Paltao, my days, Ami Raktao, Sheta Woput, Port Puttao, Dumurapna Aitao, Morom Pasun, Sodan Stoyar, Madan Saulin, Gietao, Devan Zuminam Kanilya, Adlia Niti Samaundolya. Devache Kaide, Ami Paltao, my days, Ami Raktao. Alcenau Angsole, Devan Zuminam Kanilya, Adlia Niti Samaundolya. देवाचे कायदे आमी पाळटाव मायदेस आमी राखताव शेतां वोपून पोट भोत्ताव दोंगर आपणा आयताव मोरों पासून सोदांच तोयार माडां सावळेन जियेताव देवान जमीन आमकां दिल्या आदल्या निती सांबाळून दवरल्या देवाचे कायदे आमी पाळटाव मायदेस आमी राखताव देवाचे कायदे आमी पाळटाव मायदेस आमी राखताव
So before we delve into the depths of today's program, I'd like to invite our very own Josel, the person behind this initiative, to come here and give us a few words on what we do at United Gaonkaris.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here. I mean, I'm sure most of you have not come here only out of curiosity. Some of you have heard about what we already do. So we at United Gaonkaris have come together to build this platform which is meant to encourage dialogue from various people, activists, professionals, Gaonkars, components, and so that we can find new solutions rather than just criticize what's happening. And this platform is designed to do exactly that, so that we can come together and find solutions. It's a platform designed for problem solving, and hopefully with your help and your participation and contribution, we'll be able to do just that. So I won't take any more of your time because we're already delayed. So let's start with our program and let us have a good time today. And as far as possible, let us learn to use the knowledge that we received today for the better good of Goa. Thank you.
Thank you, Josel. We now begin the first part of today's program, titled The Soil Remembers. This session reminds us that our land is not just property. It's our heritage, our identity, and the very foundation on which generations before us lived and survived. As times have changed, many of our lands have also faced challenges from neglect, legal complications, and changing lifestyles. So today, through this session, we are here to reflect and understand how we can reconnect with our soil, our agricultural systems, and also the role of our comunidades in preserving and protecting our land for the future. To guide us through this important topic, we have with us our first resource person. It is my honor to introduce Mr. Rajesh the Costa, who is currently serving as the Assistant Director of Agriculture, Directorate of Agriculture Goa, and also holds the additional charge of Zonal Agriculture Officer of Salset. He has dedicated 28 years of service to the Agriculture Department in Goa and has also served as a farm superintendent at Kodar Farms, Ponda, for 6 years. He's originally from Sernapati, Salset, and today he will be sharing his valuable insights on the Agriculture Department and its connection with the Comunidade systems in Goa. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause as we welcome Mr. Rajesh Da Costa to address us. Ms. Reina, I would request you to please give Sir a token of appreciation and escort him.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great opportunity to address this gathering with dignitaries from the Comunidades of different villages. The Comunidade was the backbone of agriculture a few years back, contributing immensely towards the agriculture in the state through its unique system of lakes, in every villages, thereby contributing to the recharge of the groundwater table and subsequently keeping the villages green. Those lakes were associated with a command area which was feeding the rabi crop of Goa. Through the years, a lot of changes have taken place, but still there is a lot of land with the Comunidades, which, with the right leadership and approach, can be brought under agriculture. Agriculture is facing a lot of challenges on account of labor, high wage rates, climatic factors, social problems, education, which has diverted a lot of people away from the agriculture. But with all this, agriculture is still important as it has to sustain the human population for the requirement of food, animal feed, etc. Agriculture produce is also facing a lot of quality issues as it has shifted from the organic ways to chemical in order to produce more. We have to dump a lot of chemicals in the soil and on the plants to protect it from the intense cultivation aspects. The produce also has to move from different areas, traveling different miles, which has to be treated with preservatives. Also, the produce has to look attractive so that it creates interest with the farmers. And this all involves a lot of treatment. All this has made the food unhealthy. A lot of landowners have given up cultivation on account of difficulties, economics in cultivation, absentee farmers, or simply farmers not interested to cultivate their land. Agriculture land is in possession of a few. It is this responsibility of the possessor to cultivate it. So through it, the food reaches the table of those who do not possess land. Even if we do not have an economic approach, I would urge you to at least cultivate your land so that you produce healthy food, as health is wealth. At least you could contribute to the health of many around you. Lately, we can see a lot of new areas that have been bought or taken up under paddy cultivation through the community farming approach. A lot of Comunidades are now organizing community farming projects across the states, covering a few lakh square meters. The revival of agriculture has taken roots. It is growing at a slow pace, taking small steps. The president of Shinshini Comunidade, Shri Furtad, I understand, as since I'm closely associated with it, has set this in motion. This example of his is now being replicated all over the state of Goa. A lot of such projects have taken roots in the area where I work of Salset Taluka. So due credit for his efforts. Of course, this is not an easy task, taking up such projects, as apart from the monetary requirements, it involves leadership qualities, as you have to deal with different people and their opinions. But with all this, at the end of the day, it is the success that matters. And Agnel Furtad was successful in bringing something more than 3 lakh square meters of fallow paddy land on Shinshini village. The concept to practice kitchen gardening, which used to be alive with the start of the pre-monsoons, is slowly dying. We can ensure healthy foods through this system. A lot of new concepts such as terrace gardening, vertical gardening, growing in grow bags, etc. It's possible to grow your own food at home. We can make available healthy foods through this approach. The value of health is known only after it is lost. Community farming need not only be with paddy, it can also involve the hills, which can be bought under different fruit crops. The concept of fruit forest is gaining. Let the fruits of nature be enjoyed by all through human efforts. The Agriculture Department provides assistance for different farming activities. We support our farmers in the best possible way. The different schemes of the Agriculture Department will be presented to you later. So basically, the Agriculture Department covers every aspect of the farming. We own the productive side, except we don't go into the marketing part. But I don't think there's any scheme that is left out where an agriculturist cannot avail it. Also, most of our schemes are farmer friendly. But the first requirement is you'll need to register yourself and have a Krishi card. This approach has been done so as to streamline, because everything is now become computerized. So farmer has to register himself, have a Krishi card, and then all the schemes as per his land are applicable. So there is a lot of potential within y'all, but your leadership and dedicated approach can change the face of agriculture in Goa. Israel, a desert nation, has changed what was impossible to possible. Let's train our approach just like them. I conclude with a message. Let the agriculture grow through our efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those valuable insights. Ladies and gentlemen, we now continue with the same session, The Soil Remembers. And our next resource person is someone who has not only spoken about agriculture, but has actually worked on the ground and brought change. It is my honor to introduce Reverend Father George Quadros from the Society of St. Don Bosco, presently associated with Don Bosco Technical Institute, Fatorda, Margao. Father George has been deeply involved in promoting community farming in Goa and has played an important role in encouraging modern agricultural practices, including mechanization and the use of technology in farming like drones. He has also contributed towards initiatives related to water conservation, watershed development, and increasing cultivation, helping farmers improve productivity and livelihoods. Father George has been recognized and felicitated by many farmer groups and organizations and is widely appreciated for his passion and dedication towards reviving agriculture in Goa. Today, he will be sharing his experiences and his valuable views on agriculture and the role of the Comunidades in Goa. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause as we welcome Reverend Father George Quadros.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation to the organizers. Happy to be here and to address this particular community because, to my belief, you are owning a big chunk of land of Goa, and therefore you have a very important role to play. My presentation will be for approximately 20 minutes. Thereafter, you can ask questions as much as the organized permit time. We'll start with a little video, and in between I will be commenting on it. Simple, no farmer, no food. We are all aware of it. We are taking a scientific approach. So what we do, we need to use the right tools for the right job. Right now you see a tractor here. It's just not any ordinary tractor. We introduced this tractor in Goa, and today there are around 40 such tractors across Goa. It's a lightweight machine suitable for the Goan paddy fields, and therefore it is the right machine for the right job. Mechanization is, we have moved all operations into mechanized ways. So right from plowing the field to seeding, so no more a farmer goes to buy seed from the shop. He doesn't have to buy the seed. He doesn't have to grow the seed. Okay, he doesn't have to get people to take the seedling from the field and put it in his field. All that job is over. So now we have service providers. A service provider comes and does all that job for you. All that you need to do is just prepare your field and keep. So the service provider, in short, he puts the seed for a little warming up session so that it germinates. And then he has a simple machine, automatic. It does some 700 trays per hour. You have the soil being put inside, you have the seeds, and then you have a cover soil coming over it, and then these are stacked for another 48 hours. So all this operation is taken care of by a service provider. And then he takes it and lays it out in the fields. And he grows it for you. It is just 80 trays of this, 2 by 1. It covers 1 acre of land in the field of the farmer. So this is what the nursery looks at a service provider's place. Then it is loaded onto trucks and taken for planting in the field of the farmer. It's going into the field. This is Kuttori Maina. All the photographs which you see are of Goa, nothing outside Goa. Later on you'll see something out of Goa. Approximately, if we do it in a very systematic way, we plant approximately 1 lakh square meters a day. Each service provider can do that. This is the machine planting the seedlings. You can't see it right now with your eyes, but it is being planted there. Once the water settles down, you'll see the seedlings up. This is at Kuttori Maina. You can see the seedlings there. They look very scanty, but they become very bushy after a period of time. This is the same scene, same place. You can see the lines. So huge tracts of land can be covered in a very short period of time. Then we have problem with weeding. Many of you would like to be organic. Okay, we have the options of being organic or inorganic, whatever the choice of the farmer. So this is a little machine that churns up the land between the line of the seedlings. And that's how you can work out organic farming without using any chemical to kill the weeds that are there. This is a video which we done, taken out from somewhere else and used it, but today we have our own videos, use of the drone. We have used the drone extensively, especially in Chinchini, but we are not able to commercialize it as yet because the schemes of the agriculture have not yet fallen in place with regard to commercialization of it. Because it involves moving the drone to another place, involves getting a bigger area, it involves subsidy on that. That is not yet worked out by the department. So till that comes, it cannot be utilized on a commercial basis. Yes. You can move forward. Then we have the harvesting machines which are available across Goa. There's no issue of this at all. So life has become simple, very simple. And now it is so simple that our farmers just give a call. Father, we'd like our field to be planted this year. We would like to have this variety of paddy, either Jyoti, Jaya or Karjat. And he does that, makes the payment on Google or a bank transfer, and he is ready. He just waits, gets his field ready and keeps it. What we do at the end, as soon as his field is ready, we come with our machines and we plant it and go. If he has an acre of land, 4,000 square meters, we just do it in 1 hour. So look at the time saved. Okay, the farmer doesn't, even if the farmer is not there, we plant it for him and we go away to that extent. Because we cannot afford to wait for the farmer to come to his field. Okay, we give him a date on WhatsApp. We have groups of WhatsApp. So we just give him a date and approximately timing. And we are there, complete the job and we go away. Everything is done on booking. So they book it in advance. The job is done. So there's no signing of papers, no collecting of money, nothing at the field level. It is just planting and going. We'll go to another slide, telling you all the difference. Approximately, there was some 50,000 hectares of land under paddy cultivation. Presently, it seems it's 32,000, but definitely it is below 32,000. Okay. Traditional method, labor intensive, very costly, requires a nursery, requires field preparation, and very time consuming. If you ask me, is there any commercial value in doing it by hand in the traditional method? No. Okay, there's no profit of that. Only it's a family business. Families are still doing it, okay, because they are looking after themselves. And they are doing all the labor by themselves. Coming to the modern method, that's what I told you, little labor, 1/3 the cost it's falling to. So if you're spending 30,000, today you spend only 10,000. No nursery preparation, no field preparation. It's very quick and very easy. What does a service provider? Service provider has a few laborers. He doesn't have a big labor team. We are doing 300 hectares of land in the monsoon. 300 hectares of land in the monsoon in 45 to 50 days. We have a labor force of 14 people, just 14. Large scale, huge production. Nursery is held by the service provider. Final field preparation. Final field preparation, just before you plant the paddy, the soil should be a little loose. So a tractor comes before that, does the field preparation, and then the transplanter immediately plants the plant and goes away. So that's all done in 1 hour for an acre. Method of work. How do we work with the people? We work in clusters. Okay, we call community farming. But we have designed a little better word. We call it collective farming. Okay, we'll tell you what's the difference between collective and community farming. Each cluster has a head. Now, I don't go to the village every day and all that, no. In the cluster, say in Banawali, we have, somebody's here, no, from Banawali, the Comunidade. Olan Mesquita. Okay, he's in charge there. I don't go there. He gets all the farmers together there. He collects the money, whatever is required, collects the forms, everything. And the farmer doesn't have to come to my place. Over the period of time, all that is gone. So there's one head in each village. That guy collects everything and he organizes everything for us. Documents, okay, he arranges schedule, instructs farmers. So if a farmer wants to join the group, he meets another farmer who has already encountered our process. So we don't go on again and again explaining the whole process. Schedules, information, techniques, everything on WhatsApp. Visit to the farmer post-planting. We visit the farms. Wherever the thing has been done, we go there and visit, instruct. We send instruction also on WhatsApp how to take care of your field. The newcomers have to have seen and met a regular farmer already. I've told you that. Regular customers can book on WhatsApp and make payment through bank. Okay? As simple and as clear as that. What is the cost? The cost of planting per square meter fixed by the government is 3 rupees 50 paise per square meter. So if you have 1,000 square meters, 10,000 square meters, it will work to 70,000, I think, no? Something like that, okay? Includes ready plant. What do you get in this 350 paise per square meter? You get a ready plant, you get planting operations, on-site operations at your place. Service provider takes care of the subsidy of 50%. So you pay only half the cost. Half the cost of 3 rupees 50 paise, so 1 rupee 75 paise. For the final ploughing, you pay an additional 30 paise. You need to put that final ploughing in the field before you plant the plant. Promoting stability, sustainability. Everybody wants to know how will this be sustained. So right now we have 8 groups working across Goa from North Goa, Verna, right up to Cancun. So there is somebody along the way, all along the way. These groups are hand-holded. We offer them basic support by way of technology, by way of breakdown of machines. Somebody's machine is broken down, then we organize another machine to go and help him out during that season. Backup during the stress period of 45 days. 45 days is the stress period for the service providers. So they need little backup, and we offer that backup. We follow ethics. If you don't, these service providers, if they become little corrupt, okay, we disown them. So we leave them alone and we don't offer support to them. It's a very important thing to have support to do this job across Goa. The latest group consists of, you won't be wondering what, today I was happy to see a lot of youngsters here, okay? We have a lot of youngsters now coming into agriculture. We have a service engineer from Jet Airways who has signed off. You have read this in the papers already. Then we have a geologist who is just returning today from Australia. He works here and he works in Australia. We always tell him that he's working here and having a holiday in Australia. Okay, today he's returned back. We have a sales manager from Idea who is also with us. He's sitting here right in front of us. Next. Outcome 8 service providers trained. Total area covered 2,000 hectares. Fallow land cultivated over this period of time is 400 hectares. Farmers moving to a new occupation and doubling the income. How you double your income? The farmers now spend very little time on the farm, so they can do something else and increase their income. It's a win-win situation for all, for the government, for Goa government, for farmers, for service providers, for the environment, and we have a greener earth. Summing up, need-based intervention. So each place we develop a system to work. For example, we have worked in the Nova Kazan. Nova Kazan is the land just along the border of the river, especially at Kurtori. Very difficult lands to work, so we adapt what machines we take there and how to work there and when to work there. So that we adapt looking at the place. Service provider mode that we know, we use the best technology, we offer training, we offer hand-holding, and we invest in infrastructure. Constantly we are buying things, new things to keep in tune with the times. Okay, now we're coming to collective farming and community farming. Community farming has a set of rules and regulations. Nobody wants to be in that, okay? Because you have to call meeting, everybody has to sign, all those things have to be done. Signing of documents, nobody wants to put their signature anywhere, okay? And we also don't take anybody's signature. Registration, you have to have registration fee. This morning you had registration fee, okay? You have to pay money now and then. You have to do an audit. You have to get approvals from everybody, president, secretary, all that. It's very, very difficult, okay? Very, very difficult, very, very demanding, and therefore it doesn't function. Even if it functions for some time and then breaks off. So this is what we found. Then in the community farming, everything comes together. That means the produce is come together and then the produce is sold. And then disputes arise. Okay, who you sold it to, how much you got, all that business comes into it. And within 1-2 years, groups break up. Now the collective farming, luckily the government has made some adjustments here. The department has made some adjustment. So that's why collective farming, no rules, no regulations. 10 farmers come together, they want to do some work, they come and meet us, we tell them how to do the work, and it's done. No signatures, limited meetings, no registration, no fees, no audit, no approvals. And then what happens? Once that is done, you have to have your Form 114, that's all. Form 114, and on that 114, you should have a field. If you have a field, that's it. Nothing more than that. If you don't have the Form 114 also, no issues. Okay? It can be easily downloaded. Okay? And that form is accepted. Once that is accepted, then the work goes on. What happens in this group, collective group? Each one looks after his own field. Each one takes his own produce. Each one goes home happily. Very simple. Results, quick decisions, time saving, cost saving to government and service providers, timely operations, professional service on account of volumes. You will be wondering how we do this. We do this because of volumes. Okay, it makes sense because of volumes. So if a farmer comes to us and say, I got 4,000 square meters, we tell him, sorry, okay, please make some friends and make that 4,000 into 20,000. Why 20,000? If one machine gets down from the tempo onto the ground, it should work for the full day. Because 1 hour, 4,000 square meters. If that machine has to shift from one place to another place, 4,000 square meters of work is held up. So once the machine gets down, believe me or not, we are residing in villages, 2-3 machines in one village, residing there for 4 days, 8 days, okay, to complete the work. Costing actuals for 1 lakh of square meters, I just put a little chart here. But simple, I'm telling you, it's very simple. 1 rupee 75 paise per square meter. Okay, if you multiply it into 1 lakh, whatever that amount comes. Now, when you do 1 lakh square meters, you can negotiate with the service provider. Because the service provider will park one machine for 5 days in your village. So you'll be saving a lot of time in movements. Okay, in all operations, you'll save time. And all operations in one little circle of half a kilometer or 1 kilometer that will be. So he saves a lot, and therefore he's ready to offer a lot of discounts. Okay, we have offered discounts as much as 1 rupee a square meter with 3 operations. That is first ploughing, second ploughing, third ploughing, planting the plant for 1 rupee a square meter. Okay, unimaginable. So cost factor is absolutely need not be thought of. Okay, those who want to go into this venture need not even think of the cost factor because you're getting it down to earth price, 1 rupee a square meter. Of course, if the terrain is a little difficult and up, down and all, the rates will be different. But the area should be minimum 1 lakh square meters to make it viable. Viable for everybody, for you also. This is what I was saying, the Kazan lands. Okay, it's good to see what we attacked. Okay, you'll see here, that's the Zuari River, that's the Band. Okay, and here is the paddy fields. This part is planted. You can make out a little difference. This is planted here, and this is to be planted. You'll find a vehicle here. This is the last point it can move. Okay, and you'll find here a canoe, a boat. Okay, material moved by boat across. There's a machine here. There for planting. So this is what we attack any type of situation because we'd like to move forward. Immense possibilities. You have said new year, new possibilities. We talk about new year, immense possibilities because it's wide. There's so much fallow land in Goa and there's so much work to be done. And I think y'all are the best people to move all the fallow land into cultivation, especially our paddy fields. When you look around, you see the mountains and all, it's all green. Some coconut trees, cashew trees, all that. Quite nice, green cover. But when you look down, all the fields are fallow. We are trying to cover as much as we can. But we cannot cover it unless people come together. Form a little group, collective group. I told you it's very easy, even if your body is not registered and all that, you just have to collect the people together and move forward. And that is possible, and that is possible only with your cooperation. We don't have time to collect the people together, okay, because we are at the moment just delivering our services to everybody. Any questions you'd like to ask? Yes, all receipts.
Do you know your receipts are showing up at the Mamladar's office in tenancy cases to diminish and alienate the Gundats?
We are giving receipts. I'll tell you how you get.
Your services
No.
are coming as a detrimental interest to the future of the Kundat because the Kundat lands are going like this. You have been doing a good service, I know that. But here what has happened, you are basing your assumptions on the fraudulent document called Form 1 and 14. Form 1 and 14 is a revenue document of the government.
Yes.
You see, when it is a revenue document of the government, where does Kumdat's face in the picture?
That you'll have to ask your own team.
Let me complete your presumption and your activity, what is happening to our Kumdat. Now, being a fraudulent document, that thing doesn't have a land tenure. Whoever is there is called the occupant.
Occupant, correct.
Yeah, they are
correct.
not owners.
Not owners.
The ownership vests with the Kumdat. When no Kumdats have been coming to you because they are almost, some of them have become defunct or some of them are slipping. Now, virtue of your receipts going to another person, lands are transferred from one person to another at the rate of 40 paise per. Is this not a crime against the Kumdat? We are not getting anything from your services. What you are giving in services is to the individuals. Now you see, the Form 1 and 14, what is happening? Your courts cannot function. Nothing can function because jurisdiction of courts is only on revenue lands. Even collector, mamladars cannot function because we have, Mosquito has put applications to the collector's office. When was your office established? They don't have information. If your office was not established, what are you collecting in Goa? What are you collecting on our revenue lands? These are our lands. No. This is, I'm not talking about responsibility. What I'm talking about, your activity there, agriculture activity is detrimental to the interest of the Kumdat. This is what is happening.
Okay. Yeah.
I know he's
a guideline.
He is restricted to agriculture.
1 minute, sir. A guideline before we get into this question session. Please understand what's happening here. We are here to get general information. We're doing our best as part of the United Gaonkaris to do something. So even though there are hiccups, let's keep those questions for the right people. We have a panel of legal panel that will be there. So you can ask your questions at that point of time. This would not be an appropriate question for Father out here. So anyone pertaining to what Father has explained and our previous speaker, please kind of restrict your questions to that.
Just
We have a problem in our problem is that lakhs of square meters have become mangroves. Now we don't know where to begin.
Agnel is thinking of the same problem of getting approval to clear mangroves and whatever. Agnel is the best person to answer that. Agnel Furtado.
See, this mangrove problem, is because of saline water entering into Khazan land. Okay, earlier even Form 1 and 14 are shown as fields, agricultural fields. But once they have been neglected, now we have places which have been neglected for more than 30 and 40 years. So there's ingress of salt water. The whole place is with mangroves. And I've tried all the way from the agriculture department, even with the MLAs. They say that this is a central subject, that you cannot touch the mangroves. So now we need some solution, maybe at the central level. 1 and 14 shows as fields, to bring it back as cultivable land. This is a big difficulty, but this is the present problem. And then people do it, forget agriculture part of it. People cut it more because of fishing. They cut it and then they make into a sort of a, what do you call that, fish. Agriculture, what do you call that, fish farm. Yeah. This is all I can. Secondly, I would like to point out that Father is only a service provider.
Yeah.
Okay. And he provides only service. See the risks we are taking. Now for all these 35 years, the 40 paise were already gone. Nobody came up to challenge the 40 paise. We have got up late now. So if you have the guts, let us challenge it now. And let us not, what do you call that, we have a saying, shooting the messenger. So we are shooting the messenger and we are shooting our own foot. So let us find a way.
Yeah.
I'm not against Loyal for any reason.
Yes.
He has brought a very good point, because our land is being taken just because it is dirt cheap. And I've said that before. Okay? But let us find a way with a legal team, how to stop this, what do you call that, frittering our own lands. So that is more important. And the more important thing is what Josel has done here, getting us together in the same mind. We should not be North Goa have one ideology, Central having one ideology, South Goa having another ideology. We must all get together, see all ideologies which we have. Cupboard sometimes have two compartments. My mother's cupboard was having 3 compartments. So whatever ideology we are having, let us put and shut in that compartment, the fighting ideologies. And what we get together, let us all get together. And I must thank everybody for having come and participated here, and especially Josel for organizing. And I need a word of thanks to thank our ZDO, which I will come and I will thank.
Another thing, the billing can be done on the Comunidade name. No issue. Okay? There's no issue at all. But in certain places, there are tenants who are cultivating the land. Okay? So those people were cultivating, so they take the billing on their name. If you take a name, for example, Orland's group, they can take it as a whole on the name of Comunidade, because each one is not given a single billing when there's a group working. Okay, it's not given single billing, it's given as a group. Why there's a group? Because if you are a group, you get 60% subsidy. That's how the price falls right down to 1 rupee 40 paise actually. Instead of 1 rupee 75 paise, it falls to 140 because you form a group. And then further discussions, you can bring it down to up to 1 rupee. So this is possibility and simple also to solve a certain amount of issues.
Father, yeah. Father, I think really appreciate the good initiative taken by you for this mechanized and community farming. I just wanted to know whether this services are available in Bardes area?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Right up to Perne.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a group here, Stanley and all will take part, take the
Okay. And what is the
services,
minimum
that's
area
it.
you require? 1 lakh?
1 lakh, because it makes it feasible.
Okay.
And it makes it feasible for you all also. It becomes cheap.
Yeah, cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper.
Yeah. Okay, I also saw your method of, seeding.
Seeding.
Very good. I really appreciate that.
Before we start the season, just us, just me and my team, we raised 22,000 trays. So bang, when the rain starts, we are immediately planting.
Okay, very nice.
Okay. And we have 3 cycles of these trays. So it goes up to 66,000 trays. So every day there are 2,000 trays going out, 2,000 trays being made, and it goes on like that.
Thank you, Father.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I think it's very important that all the Comunidades that have got Kazan lands and agricultural lands should, as a collective or as a community farming, get in touch with Father, use this opportunity, it is the need of the hour, and get our lands which have been fallow for over I think almost 60 years, to be rejuvenated and planted all over again. They have all the means and technology. So every Comunidad should join hands and make the possibility of availing this great service. And thank you, Father, for especially taking care of this area.
We won't do everything ourselves, but we will give it out, okay, here and there. Contact me, Jocelyn, I'll give you my phone number.
Just a brief thing about what Mr. Loyal said, about the receipts being misused because they're being given in an individual's name or something. All Form 1 and 14, they have the name of the occupant and then the name of the tenant, right? All we have to do as Comunidad members or managing committees is to request the service provider, whether father or someone else, to give the receipt in the name of the Comunidad, not in the name of the tiller. Once that happens, and that cannot be used in any court of law, a simple solution for us. We will come into more detail about how people are misusing the tenancy of the Comunidad for their own gains. 25 paisa, 40 paisa, whatever. But let's come to that at a later stage. Father is doing an excellent job, okay? And I, being a global traveler, I know one of the biggest problems we are going to have in the world is food security. For the simple reason that a lot of the agricultural land now, they're growing crops, but they're diverting those crops from your belly to making biofuel. Almost already 20% of our fuel in India is mixed with biofuel. They are targeting 30% now. They're targeting 30% because Gadkari's son is a fellow who has made the biggest biofuel. So he's pushing for his business. And to be very crude, I'm just sort of like Gandamatta. So this is where we have got to know our facts and figures and start this thing. Bring more land rather than having a fight and leave it this thing uncultivated because it's a legal issue. Find a solution around the legal issue and let's move forward with increasing the production of Goa. Yeah, thank you very much.
Just a second to what Mr. Hangar said. To find a solution to our legal issue, it is each Comunidad's duty to attend to all the cases. We have found in our own Comunidad last 60 years, not a single case was attended to. Everything is being decided ex parte. So the important thing is for each Comunidad, right at the grassroots level, to attend to every notice. We found, since we've taken up, it's just about a year, we found that in every single case where tenancy has been applied for, there is complete fraudulence. So the question is right at home. We as a Comunidad need to take charge and attend to the cases. And then not so, you will get reprieve. Because it is on false basis that they're being declared tenants. So we are allowing it to happen unless we stand there and take the interest. And it's not an easy thing because in a month you might have to almost put a camp in the Mandadar and collector's office.
Please allow me to speak just
Father.
2 minutes.
Father.
Just 2 minutes.
We have to continue with the next part of the program.
Father, I have just two questions.
The legal.
should be a interactive session. Now, here the base is the Comunidade. Yes. But base is, I have no problem with your agriculture activity.
Father, two questions.
My problem is associating with the Comunidade. We have come here to address the problems of the Comunidade and you are sidelining. This is what is happening.
Father, two questions regarding this. You've given the 1 lakh, the costing part, which typically works out to about, if I have a 1 lakh square feet
meters?
area, it's about 1,75,000,
Yes.
2 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
What's my yield on the other side?
Depends
So
on how you...
Effectively, how much money do I make if I'm a farmer controlling this? Is my first question.
Yeah.
My second question is, now this is related to paddy. Paddy typically is a 6-month exercise if you do it twice a year. What
Correct.
happens to the other 6 months? Because at the end of the day, your field is like an aircraft on the hangar if it doesn't fly, because it doesn't give you yield. So how do I make my field far more productive by planting the type of crops that I need to plant so that the fertility of my soil does not degrade? So what is my 12-month solution, and hence what will be my end revenue as my farmer? Because if I'm a farmer, I have other options. Why should I leave that option and come here? We'll actually decide how much of tilling that can actually happen.
Correct. Okay.
But apart from this, Father, I think that's brilliant work that you're doing. Thank you so much for actually leading the light for a lot of farmers here.
I'll give you an answer to both the questions. First is, if you're investing 1,75,000, it's possible that you get another 1,75,000 as profit. It all depends on how you look after the field. Okay? If you look after it well, there are farmers who are getting double the amount of money that they put inside. But if you think that mechanization is going to give you that double amount of money by sitting down after the work has been done, you may not get back your 1 rupee 75 paise back. Okay? Because you go and sit at home, this plant is not going to respond. Okay? It requires at least you go and look at it. Okay, if you look at it, you may get back your 1 rupee 75 paise. That is one. What do you do with your land over a period of time? 2 crops. In between, you can plant a crop of beans. Okay, which manures your field once again. Okay. It automatically, we all know that anything that is root-based inside the soil, it will give you fertilizer back for the next crop. So most of them are planting beans around the place in Goa. And beans fast. The moment you harvest, just put the tractor, spread the beans, okay, and it takes off. While people are still planting beans, we are harvesting beans already. Okay, we have started harvesting beans. And the next thing is to process your paddy. I'm talking only about paddy because I'm in that field. You process your paddy, get brown rice. Brown rice today is the talk of the town, okay? Everybody wants it. We are not entering into that field, okay? We are not entering that field. We are doing some real research and all that. We are vacuum packing it. Brown rice, if you don't vacuum pack, okay, it will get borers and it will also decompose. The outer casing, the redness, all that will come into powder and it doesn't look good after that, okay, over a period of time. So you need to enter into vacuum packing. Once you enter into vacuum packing, your value goes very high. Some people are charging, out on the, above the sky sort of for a kilo of rice. But you can make money. You can make money. You got to invest your time, energy, and you can.
Father, for any new person venturing into farming, how do you decide on what are the considerations for the seed to be used?
Anybody. See, we are giving a service to you. You got to decide what seed you want, okay? And if you don't know what to do, then you ask us, then we will tell you what to plant. Okay, so somebody is venturing inside, we will say go for Jaya. Jaya is a very hardy plant, but you won't get red rice. Okay, it will be white. Okay, but it's a very hardy plant, it withstands the rain. Okay, you get a good produce. Jaya in the monsoon. In the Rabi, it is either Kharjat or black rice or whatever you want. Okay, Jyoti. Yeah, accordingly you can choose. We can advise. Okay, there's no issue. But choice is yours.
What about the soil type?
Soil type, we are all on the coastal belt. No, more or less it's the same. More or less it's the same. Okay. By far, Jaya is ruling in the monsoon and Jyoti in the Rabi. Okay. Very few plant Jyoti in the monsoon. Yes.
Any more questions before we move on?
Yeah, anybody who wants to join into this whole process, okay, get contact with Josel. Yeah, get in contact, and he's got my number, and we'll keep you in touch across Goa.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is my only word of thanks because my work in Chinchini was being acknowledged by none other than the Assistant Director and the ZO, Mr. Rajesh Costa. You know, he's son of the soil of Sernabati, but he's son-in-law of Chinchini, and coming also from an agriculturist family, okay? And he has got his share, you know, of what he has done good for the agriculture. There's one place known as Kodar, and this place is a rocky area. And I used to call this, you know, RDX farming, because they had to actually blast the place, you know, and plant mangoes. And I don't know, please ask Mr. Rajesh how much area is covered. Yeah. Secondly, I must say, you know, I must thank the Agriculture Department for their part. We cannot, I mean, for a clapping, you require two hands. And we also get support from the Agriculture Department and also from the WRD. Okay? From the Agriculture Department for fencing, we give 90%, but that is not truly 90% because 18% goes out as GST. And we had our share of fights, you know. It is not always smooth going. And it went all the way to the assembly. And they said that out of the 18%, 9% is the central part of it. 8% is 9% is the Goa part of it. So we are trying to waive off this portion. Secondly, you know, there are other schemes. You know, I'm not, they should be made a little more farmer friendly. You know, when you go to sometimes, say there's one scheme there known as one-time weed cleaning, where, you know, it is, I mean, they could very well simplify it. And I was also part of the agriculture policy, even Father George was there. And they expect a farmer, you know, to claim whatever the crop loss, to go in the field, you know, suppose there are floods, and take a photograph. And then I used to request someone, so one of the farmers came, Bagar tum pis sala, so how do you expect a person to get inside the water and take a photograph there? So many of the things you need to simplify. Not that, but we have thus far where we have come here is because of the help of the Agriculture Department. See, they give 50%, fencing 90%. We have our share of troubles also. We fenced, you know, and suddenly there was a herd of buffaloes inside. And then we realized that they to swim, you know, there was a small rivulet. And then we started what is known as anti-submarine warfare. And we had to block it with bars. And then I'm telling you now we have reached this of 100 hectares. First we started only with 30 hectares, then 25 hectares. And Sir Rajesh knows all the difficulties and how we have come up. And I'm telling, it's not a very difficult job. I'm not come here to give a lecture, you know, how to collect people. But in North Goa, they are looking out, especially this Govinda Sherlekar affiliate, you know, is looking out for people who come together. And a big thank you to Father George, because in his 10 years, 9 years, I'm associated with him, okay? And I call him the real Sherlekar, because all our weight, our this plows, we put on his shoulder, and he carries. And a person very systematic, and thus far we have come here is because of them. Sure. And I also need to thank the other personnel of the Agriculture Department. There was one lady, she recently got married, Jovita. then Ryan also. And there are people who have actually come to my house during their off-time hours, sat with us to get people together. So all this is possible with good ways and cooperation. Sure. And secondly, my advice is never keep a field idle. There is a saying that idle mind is a devil's workshop. Idle mind is a builder's workshop. So let us avoid it. Even if you have the smallest patch, please do something. Anyway, thank you so much. And if I missed to thank somebody, but yes, I must thank also all the Comunidades who have come here, especially from the north. Especially here, we have Mr. Nelson Fernandez, this of Asagaon. He's actually fighting battle after battle to maintain the community. There must be many more people also here. Savi is there, then Luis is there, so many other people, yeah, who are fighting battles. Yeah, I can't mention everybody's name, but we need to get together. Thank you
sir.
so much for having listened.
Thank you for your input and your words of advice. But it is true that the Agriculture Department, even in my experience, has been very people-friendly or rather farmer-friendly. And having said that and understanding what Father has shared with us as a service provider and simplifying the way we cultivate fields, I think Father and Mr. Rajesh definitely deserve a bigger round of applause from you all. Right now, we have a youngster with us, Mr. Rangel, who's going to give us a small intro into the different schemes that are offered at the Agriculture Department.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone present here. I'm Rangel I'm an Assistant Agriculture Officer in Zonal Agriculture Office, Margao. And I'll tell you all the schemes which we have in brief. So I'd like to start. Next slide. So just for information, we have farms which is Old Goa, Kodar and Kale, Mapsa, Penne, where fruit trees are produced, grafts are produced. There's a mechanical section also which we call as mechanical cultivation offices in Mapsa, in Kutchori and Margao. And there are 2 district agriculture offices under which the ZAOs come. So you have to contact each ZAO as per the taluka. So in the south, there is Kankon, Kepe, Sange, Salset, Marmagaon, Ponda, and that Bandoda. And similarly, in the north, it's Tiswadi, Bardes, Pedne, Bicholi, Satari, and Sankli. Okay, please start the scheme. Okay, so to avail any scheme of the department, first a farmer needs to possess a Krishi card. Without Krishi card, he cannot avail any scheme in the department. So for an individual farmer to make a Krishi card, the main documents, Form 1 and 14, the self-declaration, we provide that in the offices. Then anything, sale deed, power of attorney, NOC, lease or death. However, suppose it's an inherited property, how it comes on your name, in that case, death certificates. Aadhaar card, election card, ration card, and caste certificate if applicable. So these are the basic documents required to make the Krishi card for an individual farmer. Next. Similarly, institutions and self-help groups, they can also make Krishi cards. And same for them, the Form 1 and 14s are required. And one main thing here is first they have to register with the cooperative societies. So only after that can they make a Krishi card as a group in the department. So when we make a Krishi cards, we have land codes on the basis we make them. So these are the land codes for the self-owned properties. 1A is simple when the applicant's name is reflecting in the occupants column. 1B is via sale deed when the name is not yet come on the Form 1 and 14. We can produce the sale deed and make a Krishi card. C is via power of attorney. Okay, next. Similarly, we have for inherited land codes. Next. And also for lease, land codes are there. And for tenancy also there are different land codes. And even for caretaker. This is how the Krishi card looks. That's the abstract and that's the card which the department gives you. Okay, so I'll start with the first scheme. This is a fencing scheme. So I'll start from the individual point of view. Okay, next. Basically, we provide fencing with, we give subsidy on barbed wire, on wire mesh, and even for solar power fence. So 75% is the subsidy for general category, but that is of our standard cost, not of the bill cost. Of our standard cost, the bill cost is usually on the higher side sometimes. So for general category, it's 75%, and for ST category, it's 90%. And the maximum a single farmer in their lifetime can avail up to 2 lakhs. Okay, next. So these are our standard costs. So basically for a running meter of barb wire, it's our standard cost is 32 rupees. And that's barb wire with RCC post or with MS poles. And when you're putting them on wooden poles, it's 28 rupees. Similarly for a wire mesh of 4 feet height, it's 320 rupees. And wire mesh or chain link of 5 feet height, 390 rupees is our standard cost. For stone wall fence, similarly, per running meter, the standard cost is 740 rupees. And now for the poles, okay, just previous slide one. The barb wire, while you are erect it, this includes the total cost, even the cost of the labor and labor cost as well as all the costs are including in that, and installation costs. So there's no separate for the installation cost. It's included in the wire mesh which you all purchase or the barb wire. Okay, next. Only the poles are separate. So per pole, for 6 feet per pole, we give 400 rupees. So it's 75% on that 400 rupees, which is our standard cost. And for 7 feet pole, it's 470. For metal poles, it's 365. And 6 feet, 440. And 7 feet, 515 rupees. So the documents required for fencing, application form is available in all the zonal offices. Then the Krishi card abstract. Quotation is required from a dealer. It need not be registered in case of fencing. The dealer has to not, it can be anyone. Even you all can erect it. Previously. In case NOC, when you all are going for stone wall fencing, so the no objection certificate from the panchayat is required. Undertaking, we provide that format, survey plan, 2 numbers. And after the fence is erected, you have to submit the bills, receipts, and then we come for inspection, take the measurements, and then when your field is cultivated, if your field is cultivated, only then is the subsidy released. Next. Okay, so for irrigation, also it's the same. Maximum for an open well you can avail is 2 lakhs, but there are norms for that, I'll tell you. And for a bore well, maximum is 1.5 lakhs. So the main document is required from the WRD, we require the NOC first. They are Form 4. Only after that we give subsidy. Next. So basically if you have an open well, now suppose the diameter of the well is from 1.5 to 2 meters and the minimum depth is 3 meters, you can avail up to 70,000 rupees subsidy will be there. And there's land holding. Now suppose you want to go say for a 4 meter diameter well, but you have a land holding of only 2,000 square meters, you'll get only 1 lakh subsidy maximum. You won't get 1,60,000 or 1,30,000. So mainly it's on the land holding also. So these are the norms, as you can see. Maximum for the open well, it goes up to 2 lakh. Next. Similarly for bore well also there are norms, and maximum it goes up to 1,50,000. Documents for well are the same like fencing only, but quotations even for well, not a registered dealer, no registered dealer, anyone can do the work. And similarly after the approval, when the work is done, you have to submit the bill, receipts and photographs of the well along with the farmer. Next. Similarly we have schemes for all types of agriculture pumps, electric, solar and petrol pump as well. So this doesn't have any category as general or ST. Everyone gets 90% here. If it's their first pump, they are purchasing from the department. If it's the second pump, the subsidy is 50%. And pumps above 5 HP, you'll get only 50% subsidy, not more than that. Okay, next. The same, most of our documentation is same. Quotation, the Krishi card abstract copy. In case of electric pump, the low tension agriculture bill is required. On the bill, it will mention on the electricity department bill as a low tension and not domestic connection. Okay, next. Micro irrigation for drip and drip usually really 90% of the cost gets covered because quite a high subsidy and 90 total cost gets covered for drip. Similar for sprinkler also 75% of your cost gets covered because usually the standard cost is more than the cost. At present at least the standard cost is quite high. documentations are same, and can suppose now the crops are a little bit further away from your well. For water conveying pipeline also there is a scheme, and the subsidy is 50%, and maximum is 20,000 rupees per hectare, limited to 1 lakh. So maximum a farmer can claim for is 1 lakh under this scheme. Now suppose the property is on a hill. To collect the water there, you can and to irrigate from top, you can construct a water storage tank, and basically the subsidy is 1,000 rupees per cubic meter of construction, and minimum 10 cubic meters. The size has to be 10 cubic meters, and maximum 100 is permitted. So basically, you get 1,000 rupees per cubic meter, the subsidy. LTAG connection. This. The agriculture department provides the NOC, and then you have to produce this NOC to the electricity department so that you can get a low tension connection for your to use your pump basically. So the documents required is the Krishi card, survey plan, undertaking. We have that format, and there should be a well in general. So, and if there's a well, you have more than 1,000 square meters, you are eligible for 1,000 meters of farmland, you can go for this LTAG connection. Okay, this is the scheme Agnello was talking about. So basically it is 15,000 rupees per hectare, but maximum a single farmer can avail, an individual farmer can claim only for 1.5 hectares of this. And it's either 15,000 per hectare or 50%, whichever cost less. Suppose the cost is 20,000 for a hectare, you'll get only 10,000. So 15,000 hectare, and a group can go for 3 hectares. It's called one-time assistance, basically to get that land which is has all shrubs, bushes under agriculture cultivation. So it's known as one-time assistance for removing shrubs, weeds. Next. The subsidized rate, Father George also told us. These are all the rates, the subsidized rates which the department provides machinery through your MCO offices, or where the MCO is not there, the zonal offices also provide. So for tractors and power tillers, mini tillers, subsidy is 75%, and for weed cutters, the only for weed cutters is a scheme that where ST and general is differentiated. ST gets 90% and general gets 75%. Rest of the schemes in machinery section is 75%, and power tiller is 50%. The documents the same. Yeah. Like the custom service that department provides through customs to this. So like Father George was saying, when it's a group, you get 60% of the subsidy, and when it's a single farmer, you get 50% of the subsidy. Next. So in our department, all the seeds are available at a 50% subsidized cost, and even the seedlings are sold at some farms or some places at 75% of the cost. Now we'll come to cultivation schemes. So for coconut, this over a 2-year period, the subsidy is released, and the total amount for a hectare you'll get 50,000. So it initial planting cost also is covered, and maintenance cost also is covered. Okay, next. Similarly, we have for bananas, for pineapples, for papaya, for everything there's a scheme, and there are minimum seedlings. You have to 0.1 hectare has to be covered. That is 1,000 square meters. Next. Even for flowers, we have schemes. And even for spice crops, which can be intercultivated in coconut plantation, all for that also there is a scheme. Even cashew, the orchards which are not bearing now, for replacement, rejuvenation, there is a scheme. You can replace your old trees with new ones which have died basically due to cashew stem borer attack or anything. Even developing mango plots, these are 2 schemes basically, but in rocky areas the subsidy is more. So you get around 2 lakhs in developing because you have to blast the rocks and many things are there. So now we'll come to the manures part where there's subsidy. So soil conditioners are basically which reduce the acidity in the soil. So for that, for rock phosphate, for lime, 75% of the, you get 75% subsidy, but rupees 6,000 per hectare is the limit, upper limit. And it's maximum for 4 hectares, so you can avail up to 24,000 rupees in that. Next. Even for micronutrients like boron, magnesium and zinc, 75% subsidy is there, and this is limited to 7,500 per hectare for 4 hectares. So it works out to 30,000 if you use the full 4 hectares amount. Vermicompost bed, there's a subsidy for both, even hard structure, even the pakka structure, and even for the beds which we have. And it's it's basically 3 beds. You can avail 3 bed subsidy, and the maximum amount is 7,500 for the beds. But these beds cost around 1,600. So basically, your cost gets covered. 90% of your cost gets covered. For organic input also, any organic manure, this has to be purchased from a registered dealer only. It can be vermicompost or any horti meal or anything. So maximum this is for 2 hectares. So if a farmer has 2 hectares, he should purchase up to 40,000 worth, and he'll get 20,000 rupees back. It's 10,000 rupees per hectare for maximum 2 hectares. And the traps and all these are available in the offices. They are already on subsidized rates. Now TSP and SCP, this is a special scheme for only, it's a central government scheme only for ST and SC farmers, wherein they can purchase chemical fertilizers, which agriculture department doesn't have any scheme for general farmers for this, but ST and SC farmers have a scheme wherein they get around 24,000 rupees maximum for 2 hectares, and 75% is the subsidy. Now, if you are using any weedicides like chloropyrifos or imidacloropyrid, there's a scheme for that also. General get 5,400 per hectare, and ST get rupees 5,400 per hectare, and general get 4,500 per hectare. But okay, next. Now, assured prices, paddy. There's now current Kharif season, the assured price is 26 rupees. So the Jaya, which is selling for rupees 20, you get 6 rupees from the government side. In case of Jaya, Jyoti 5 rupees because that is 21, and Karjat is 19, you'll get 7 rupees. Similarly, Korgut is 22, you'll get 4 rupees from the government side. So total, all in all, you're getting 26 rupees per kg of your produce sold. Just one. So the assured price is not fixed at the moment, but Goa government will give 2 rupees over what the central government, the minimum support price of the central government is. Similarly, for coconut coconut rupees 15 is the support price, and 1 lakh nuts is maximum for 10,000 hectare area, and for cashew nuts the maximum support price is 170. So total, when you sell a kg, you'll get 170 rupees. We have many trainings also in the department through KVK and Atma. A lot of trainings are organized. You all can contact your zonal offices, and you all can request for a training which can be provided. This Shetkari Adar Nidhi is the scheme when your paddy crop is destroyed. It is rupees 4 per hectare, so 4 per square meter. So you get, if you have a hectare of land, you are eligible for 40,000 rupees, provided the crop is actually destroyed. And for this, yes, photo is required standing in the field. So in Shetkari Adar Nidhi, within 7 days, you have to submit the application to the office, along with the abstract, photograph with the farmer, with the area which is lost, a revenue stamp, and an application. Next. Okay, community farming. All the schemes which are 75%, under community farming, they become 90%. When you take the whole community farming together. So I've done in detail. Next slide. Now eligibility criteria for basically there are 2 types of groups. The first one is a joint community farming group. Here the entire area of all the members together shall be cultivated as one block in the name of the group. All expenditure for creating infrastructure, one-time cost and cultivation cost shall be in the name of the group. The produce also shall be sold in the name of the group. And so this one is rarely done. Mostly is the next one, which I'll explain loosely. So this is the one which in Salsit is at least in practice. In this group, the permanent costs are done in the name of the group. However, recurring expenditure and produce sold is sold in individual farmer's name. These are now the requirements how to go about in community farming. So first there has to be a Krishi card in the group's name. The minutes of the first meeting of the group shall be also given, and authorized signatories along with group members, president, a secretary and a treasurer has to be there. A bank account has to be there in the name of the group, and the minimum a community farming group has to have 10 members. So members shall have a Krishi card. Even the members which are in the group shall preferably have a Krishi card. And whoever don't have, the chairman can certify that they are cultivating that part, and the member also should furnish a similar declaration. The community farming group can be registered with the society's registration. That is not an issue. Before any project, the community farming group has to submit a project report. The agriculture department will help with that, how to go about, and facilities or whatever they propose to do in that area. Next. Generally, after the subsidy is provided, the community farming should take up double cropping in both seasons, and even horticulture is considered. See, now here it becomes little bit complicated, but I've tried to make it easy. So the community farm desiring to start shall be under the zonal agriculture of that area. Krishi card abstract of the group is required. List of all the members with details of agricultural land held and the individual Krishi card number. Copy of the resolution of the first meeting. Copy of the bank passbook. Certificate, the Directorate of Agriculture gives the registration certificate, and if not that, even the cooperative society registration can be used. A project report, I told that. Next page. The chairman has to give a declaration that he will undertake farming in that piece of land after it's subsidized for 10 years at least. Otherwise, the government can refund back the amount. And the zonal agriculture officer concerned will evaluate the proposal of a feasibility and forward it to the district agriculture officer, who will then put it up for the higher powered committee meeting. So in the higher powered committee meeting, the Minister for Agriculture, Secretary, Director and Deputy Director Agriculture are there. So only once the approval is conveyed, only then can the work be started. Before approval, the work should generally not be started. Once the approval is done, only then the work can be done. And once the project is completed, similar, the bills, receipts and photographs of the work done should be given. Okay, for any assistance, you can. This is the Zonal Agriculture Office Margao number, and you all can contact your particular offices. The MAPSA one is in Duler, similarly. Any questions?
How difficult is it to get the money from the schemes, and how long does it take for the money to come back? Because the interim period is an investment. That's question number one. Question number two, Krishi card. Is there a minimum parcel of land holding that is required for a Krishi card to be eligible?
Okay, I'll answer the Krishi card part. There is no minimum land holding, but any of the schemes usually start from 1,000 square meters. So there's absolutely no point in making a Krishi card if you don't have 1,000 square meters. You can't avail the scheme, and then there's no point of the card.
And how long does it typically take for the disbursement of money? What is it?
Now there are two schemes. Sometimes there's a central, the schemes are joined. Suppose in case of irrigation schemes, it comes in two parts. The state government part comes within a month and a half, and then this is followed up with the central government. So within 3 months, all in all the schemes are paid.
Okay.
3 months after the approval. Okay, and once the bills are submitted into the office. Okay. Yeah. Shetkari Aadhar Nidhi and all those are faster. Within 1 month they come in the account.
Here I have one question, and that is that people make krishi cards, you cultivate your fields, you take availability from the agriculture department under various subsidies. But what I found last year was that there is no system within the agriculture department to record what is being cultivated in a particular field. And this is going to become, if it's not already very important, okay, to prove as evidence in courts of Mamladar, Deputy Collector, Collector, and further up the courts, that Mr. XYZ has been cultivating that field, or Mr. XYZ has not been cultivating the field. And here, Mr. Luel, I think I'll address one of the this. There are people who come out of the woodwork whose great-grandparents' name figured in the Form 1 and 14 as cultivators. Okay. They have not cultivated. Now all of a sudden, because the price of land is high, they are utilizing that to acquire at 40 paisa or 25 paisa per square meter and then they're swearing in court under affidavits and all that they are cultivating, but there is no evidence to say that they have not cultivated it also. There should be some government register wherein every year if you have a krishi card and you've got a field on that and you have cultivated, that has to be recorded. Before, if you look at the older Form 1 and 14 till 1988, 89, there is a column manual, whether it is cultivated or not. Subsequent to that, there is no records on Form 1 and 14. Whatever you want to call it, Form 1 and 14, call it whatever you want. But that record is now no longer being maintained from 1989 or this. Yes, yes.
The agriculturist had to file it before the Talati.
Yes.
Which has been stopped.
Which has been stopped, correct. This is something that we need to push somebody to restart it, to prove that a person is cultivating or not cultivating. There are people just because they're going to get money are saying we are cultivating it. Or after 50 years they cultivate one season and they say the... Yeah. Correct. Yes. Yes. Correct. All this record has to be maintained. And today with digitalization, it's very easy to do that because the Form 1 and 14 is available online. So it should be either in the occupant's name or the cultivator's name. But it has to be subsequent. The guy has to prove. That is the only evidence that there is. Exactly. That needs to be done. That needs to be done.
Hello. Can I speak on this? Those who are not cultivating, you can check in the Google Maps every year who is cultivating, who is not cultivating. You can, yeah. Officially, I got to RTI. Some of the things they are not maintaining any record. So I am producing in the court. See, I am going in the court, attending the. There I am producing the evidence and all. They are not cultivating for last 30 years. I can prove. I got to satellite pictures also. If you want, I can get certified copies of those, and I can show to the court if the court asks me. Still now, court has not asked me anything. So I have shown there. So see, Mamladar report and all, no reports are there with them. I asked them with the report of the Talati. Where is the report? As per the Tenancy Act. As per the Tenancy Act, I have followed the Tenancy. I am following the Tenancy Act. When I am going to the court now, I have to follow the Tenancy Act. So I am asking the court. They have not got any reports. So one case is dismissed. Another, I am waiting for other courts to be dismissed also.
See, Google record, okay, maps record, will only show whether something is cultivated or not. Who has cultivated it is not being shown. In today's world, okay, some Bihari guy is cultivating it here. Right or wrong, guys?
Yeah. Before we take this discussion forward, I think we'll end this part of the discussion here. Sir would like to speak something because we always end up going onto a legal standpoint, which is not the point of discussion at this point of time, but at a later part in this program. So over to you.
With regard to your point of agriculture maintaining records, that is not a job of the agriculture department at the moment. That's not a mandate. The mandate of the agriculture is for helping the farmers, productivity, and all farmers related. This revenue records is entrusted at the moment with the revenue department. So we are not into that. Okay. Now, since Mr. Agnel Futtad has bought the issue, has said something about Kodar farm, I'll just for your information, I would like to add. In Kodar farm, we have managed to preserve 55 varieties of traditional mango varieties of Goa. We have established one heritage block there, and we have managed to locate 55 varieties from different parts of Goa. And if I rightly believe, two of our farmers whom the mangoes have been taken, one is Mr. Loel's mango itself of Salgadin variety, and one from Asolna has been planted. So we have maintained that collection of, under that heritage block, 55 varieties so far. We have bought it right from the Sioli and all those places. Also, we have maintained another block of authentic Malkurad. When you look at Malkurad, you can see different strains. Which is the right one? Which is the best? Fibers, no fibers, taste, color. So we have collected the mangoes that have won prizes for the exhibitions that the agriculture department had done over the period of time. So we have collected those strains and planted. So in the next few years, you will be getting those mangoes available. Apart from that, Quadros Malkurad also has been planted, which it has been only grown in the ICR. Now it is available with us. So we will be doing large-scale production from that. We also have another good plantation of planted of 38 varieties of jackfruit. Jackfruit is supposed to be now going to be the superfood. That's what they are trying to promote it, having low glycemic value and all those things. So we have grown around 38 varieties to see the agroclimatic conditions, because the color of jackfruit, normally what we know is only yellow, but there is orange, there is red, golden, pink. So different, even from the local to the exotics we have planted, but we have to know the how it performs under our local conditions. So that is we have planted. Apart from that, cashew also has been planted. We have planted nutmeg also. So basically, we have planted over 1.5 lakh square meters of this thing. Mango new plantation. Then we have around almost 40 varieties of hybrid mangoes, hybrid and Indian varieties. The point of this hybrid variety is what we have seen over the period of time, at least my years in service in Kodar. The local mango strain is slightly being affected due to the climatic change in the climatic situation. But what we have seen is the hybrid varieties are performing a little better because of that hybrid vigor. And of course, hybrid is crossed with Alfonso, it's crossed with different type of things. Taste is good. Some of you must be aware of that Ratna variety, which is a cross. So we have planted a lot of this hybrid varieties by collecting it from different parts of India. And that will be available in a few years. So our farmers will be able to get these varieties in the near future. So that this is what I'm giving is just for your information, so that you're aware that mango, say even Malkurad, because everyone is searching, where can I get good Malkurad? Nobody knows exactly. The department talks about exports of Malkurad. Now, since Malkurad is also coming under the GI, where do you actually get the real good quality Malkurad? Nobody knows. People say mine is good, everyone says mine is good. But who is judging which is good?
Yes, and all that.
Yes.
Now we people who are sitting here, why we cannot get this 90%? Because Balshuram shot a barn and we claim Goa. He came from the the mountains and cycling to Goa. So we belong also to that. You check my blood.
No, Mr. Yeah, correct. I got your point. Mr. Luel, government fixes a standard cost because you can have a variation.
I came from the mountains and settled in Goa.
Right. Correct.
I cannot get my subsidy. I'm not talking about the rest.
No, you want your subsidy at what percentage? 90%. 90%.
Constitution talks of equality and you're promoting nothing.
Okay, Mr. Loyal, this is a policy decision of the government. It's not of the agriculture department, it's of the policy decision. To talk about a policy decision of the government is not appropriate for me.
The Krishi card.
Yes.
If the Krishi card is only meant for subsidy, then why do you all issue Krishi cards below 1,000 area who is not a farmer? Because why I am saying that in our village, outsiders, meaning people who are not residents from our village or outside Goa, they are buying big tracts of land, and the first thing they do is they apply for Krishi card. And they take all those subsidies which are meant for Department of Agriculture Goa. So they are taking that subsidies and they are buying land, and they are saying that they are farmers and they are buying more agricultural land by showing the Krishi card to the sub-registrar. So going forward, will you all place this before the government, or how you all can take any action at your end?
See, the point is valid if I'm sitting from your side. But when you're sitting from my side, everyone is the same. Okay, I sit with that balanced approach. If your name is in the Form 114, or you have a sale deed, and you're a owner of a land, you're eligible. That's this thing. Basically the Department of Agriculture wants is for you to develop the land, irrespective of the title holder. So we are giving assistance for the good activity that is done by whoever it is on the land. Now, whether that card is misused or rather it is presented, and how can you stop it, that's another question of debate.
Bring in something, because see what is happening is these big tracts of land, initially they used to plant trees by taking all the subsidies and fencing and all that. Later on the wooden structures moved. All those things have been this, and these subsidies are used for other benefits, because that is used for homestays and all other things. So these benefits are misused if you are not implementing it at the right stage now. Because
yeah, but okay, I understood your point. But what happened? This is a policy decision. At the moment, the policy is not to contain, it is to promote. But I think you all should present it to some this thing, because we are only dealing with the Margam office. Yes. So if you all can, as a forum, can raise that issue in a different forum, and whatever relief you all get, it will be benefit for everyone, you see. Price of mango will come down. No, see, I'm not trying to regulate the pricing. Price depends on the market trend and the consumer preference. What actually I have said is I'm trying to give the best. See, whether it is planted for personal consumption or it is planted for this thing. But ultimately, let me give you an example. I take a mango from a normal nursery, not knowing the quality. I plant it, I wait for 5-6 years, and after that I get something that I can appreciate. I wasted my 5-6 years doing nothing. But if you know that the plant is of good mango, and then at a time of when you it starts bearing, and even if you give it to some relatives or friend, oh, when he says, your mango was really good, you feel appreciated. So basically, we are looking at that part. No, I won't say that. I won't say that. For the simple reason, I won't agree with your point. In fact, I will say that if a farmer is blessed that his mango comes early, he will get good rate. And a person who can afford it will buy it for that rate. And a person who cannot buy it will just wait for some time. The prices will drop. Ultimately, it's a winner for both.
I have one small question or rather clarification.
Yes.
As far as the Krishi card is concerned.
Yes.
See, the Krishi card itself, now let us assume it's something like a ATM card. Okay, you go to ATM, there's something on it. Now this Krishi card, does it have any details? Because every time you go with the Krishi card, it looks like it's only a piece of decoration. Because they say you have to get the extract. What about the Krishi card itself? If you have a card reader, you should be able to read all the details, whatever there. Whatever is there in the abstract should be actually there in the card. So can you please enlighten us on this? See, the card itself, it's become only a piece of deck. Suppose you go somewhere and say, okay, I'm having a Krishi card. No, you bring the extract. And to get the extract, you have to go to the office somewhere else, which is difficult. Now the card itself, should have all the details. And you want this, you should get a print and be able to give it. That's my way of thinking.
Yeah, correct. What you said is absolutely correct. But
but you cannot.
What you said is absolutely correct. I agree with you. But you see, I'm not in that position to answer that question because I have not framed that. Okay, so I was not in that authority to this thing. Why they have actually made that card like a dummy, I don't know. But for all practical purpose, it is the abstract that works. It has been going on for the last so many years. And if I just take a guess, it must be just to say that you have been given a card, which is as a PVC sheet with that embedded thing, which is not readable. But I really don't know the real idea of why that card has been issued. The details are available on the system. Yeah, that system can be accessed by all the ZEOs anywhere in this thing. It is a centralized system. That card is not readable because I don't know whatever reason. Yeah, that can be read by the system. Yeah. Yes. But then what happened? Why we are asking the abstract is we cannot remove thousands of applications, printouts and all. So that is what we are asking you all only to give. We have to say that we have computerized, but certain documents, it is still from audit point of view we have to maintain. Secondly, all our staff is not having that access to the system. See, we have reached some stage, but we are not fully into that stage. So for the sake of administration, we are asking that abstract, and it is part of the circular. See, we are going by the circular. If the circular says that it has to be there, then the audit is saying that it has to be there in the bunch. Okay. So you see that there are certain things that would like to be easy, but from audit point of view and from the circular point of view, it does not match. See, it's a support price. Support price plus subsidy. Yeah. See, who quantifies it? See, I know what the point you are making, it may have relevance, but how do you quantify it? Now, with regard to even that Mr. Furtado has raised the issue of photographs that he has to go in the water. It may be valid. But when you sit from the other side, but when you sit from this side, there are people, the agriculture department was not taking those photographs before. We have seen over a time that there are chronic people who misuse. Even after the photographs has been introduced, you have the same photographs
being produced year after year. So everyone is not, you see, clean. But then you become dirty because you have not scrupulously checked. See, we have the best scheme of Shatkar Adarni. Whether it is damage, insurance scheme for the crop. Yes. No. Insurance from crop loss or crop death? Or for farmer's death? We don't have any. Only for coconut climbers, not for toddy tappers and that. Okay.
I fully agree with what our ZAO has said, misuse of whatever subsidy. Now I come to another point where it says weed cleaning. Weed cleaning is done only one time. So if a field is fallow for say 30 years, you won't expect there, a rose garden. Definitely it has not been planted for more than 30 or 35 years. So what I'm saying is the agriculture department should be a little more liberal because they are giving it only as a one-time subsidy. This is only my suggestion. Because like you said, which side of the fence you are sitting and which side I'm sitting. You have your responsibility, I agree. If probably I was sitting in your place, maybe I would have had to follow strictly whatever the rules are. But this is what we should also put forward to the agriculture department to simplify the system, less red tape. Because now one-time scheme is there. This field has not been planted for more than 30 years. So be a little liberal. The moment he plants, don't go to check whether he was there. He cut the field. The fact that he has planted it, be a little liberal and grant one time. This is only my request. I'm not demanding it.
We can put it forward, but I don't know whether how that scheme has been, what went into the thinking of that. But if I was sitting there designing that scheme, I would always put a check measure. Because there are people who can also claim one-time cleaning for already a cleaned field. How does the agriculture department handle it? Then you will have a complaint coming that agriculture department is giving for already a cultivator for a cleaned field. How do you handle that? No. I'm giving you an example. I just given you an example. See, I'll tell you, there are people who come out with very innovative ways of how to, they think that the subsidy and agriculture, whatever they get, is an additional income. I was a ZD of Ponda. I know exactly how that Shatkar Aadhar Nidhi, people are getting up to 1.5 lakhs. I don't want to say it, but that is how the agriculture department is very helpful. But you have even with regard to other things, we have if you try to be too liberal, we get an RTI inquiring how this case has been settled. Red tapeism is a criticism, but when you cannot override somebody else's rights also, and somebody else's this. Audit also will think that, they always think in a policeman way, and you get into the crossroad of to prove your innocence. Yeah, they take it. They always look at it in a policeman way, and you have to prove your innocence. So that's the system. Anyway, I hope I could address some of your issues. Thank you. Yeah, son.
For weeding the
fields. Yeah, we're giving Kono Bidder, no?
No, not Kono Bidder. Other machines are come, no, which are
No, one service
mechanized.
provider has now purchased another breeder. We are going to have a demonstration, which is mechanized, especially for transplanted paddy.
Yeah.
So if that is successful, then this thing. Because ultimately, somebody has to experiment. In the agriculture department or in the department, we don't have that, facility or something where you can test. The service providers, they have to test because ultimately they have to deliver the results. So one service provider has purchased that machine. We have proposed his case. If it's successful this time on the field,
basically then you see
No,
it solves most of the problem.
It is successful. I'm using for last 4 years. They
No,
are
no,
working
which
very
machine
well.
you're talking about? Which machine?
I made machines.
You made, but
Yeah.
this is one Mr. Valentino has purchased it from this thing. So we are trying to look into
I
that.
did a lot of experiments on that and I made
Yeah, yeah.
it.
No, see, ultimately, we need to experiment. Like how father said that he has to check the fields. I was at Ponda. There was one area where the tractor was just sinking in. Now, with regard to that Kubota machine, tractor, it is a Japanese machine. It is a Japanese machine. Whereas all other tractors of ours are adapted, or rather they are designed for wheat. Whereas that Kubota is a Japanese machine designed for paddy cultivation in Japan. They don't have wheat, which is light. Whereas our tractors, normal, what they are using are wheat, heavy. That's the reason why that Kubota is successful.
Yeah, my point is now whether if I show you the machine, can you give the subsidy for me?
See,
because I have to require
No, you have to
25 to 30 machines are required for me now.
No, you have purchased it from somebody. No, you have designed your own.
Yeah, I have
No, when you design your own, somebody has to certify from, let me finish.
Yeah.
Somebody has to certify from a safety point of view.
Yeah.
So they are agencies which certify the safety point. Well, the government cannot just give you a subsidy, cannot enroll that machine when there is no safety aspect. Tomorrow, if anything happens, then it becomes a criminal case. Okay. Thank you.
I'd like to request Ms. Reina to kindly give Ryan a token of appreciation. One thing I'd like to point out over here is that when you're an employee of the government and you give a speech in public, it's very difficult to defend certain policy decisions of the government. And as an employee, you cannot speak, in a way that might be feasible to the audience and that might not be taken so sportingly by the government. So keeping that in mind, I'd like all of you to applaud Mr. Rajesh for having been very sporting in taking your queries, and not losing his cool and having patience with us. So thank you, sir, for that. Moving on. So the second part is called the Agricultural Tenancy Act, Facts and Myths. This is a very important topic because many people in Goa still have doubts, confusion, and different opinions regarding the Agricultural Tenancy Act. Over the years, it has also become a subject of debate, misunderstandings, and misinformation. To guide us through this topic, we have with us Mr. Swapnesh Sherlekar, who is a mechanical engineer from ISBT Bogda, Vasco, Goa. He is currently working actively as a social activist, a social researcher, and a social trainer, and has been involved in creating awareness on important social issues through research and practical understanding. We are glad to have him with us today as he shares his insights on the Agricultural Tenancy Act and helps us separate the facts from the myths. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Swapnesh Sherlekar.
Hello friends, I would prefer to speak in Konkani. I hope it won't be more inconvenient for you. Okay, no? Okay. Topic dila explosive sarko. And for this group of people, agriculture tenancy. Now this is an act, was a Kaida Agriculture Tenancy Act, the Goa, Daman and Diu Agriculture Tenancy Act 1964. हो कायदो देयलो 16 डिसेंबर 1964 सर्वे जावच्या पयलीं ह्या ग्रुपाक एग्रीकल्चर टेनन्सी प्रॉब्लेमॅटीक कळटा. देर आर टू पार्ट्स, एक टेनंट आनी ओनर्स. दॅट इज हाव द एक्ट इज. ओनरांचे जागे काडले आणि टेनंटांक दिले. इट वॉज कायदो पूण इतलो सिंपल ना. ओरिजिनली जेन्ना कायदो जालो इन 1964 तितून खुबशे लकुनास आसलेले. जागो काडून एकट्याचो काडून दुसऱ्याक दिवप कॉन्स्टिट्युशनानूय प्रोविजन नासलेले. बट सिमिलर एक्ट बॉम्बेन महाराष्ट्रान आसलेलो. सो थंयसरल्यान खुबसो एडॉप्ट जालो गोंयाक आनी गोंयान टेनन्सी एक्ट येयलो. आयडिया कितें आसलेली? देर इज अ कॉमन फ्रेज इन कोंकणी, कसयतेची जमीन. म्हटल्यार जो कोण कसयतालो, कल्टिवेट करतालो, ताका ती जमीन दिवप. कित्याक? आतां जस्ट एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंटाचे जे ZDO आसलेले तांकां आमी खूब प्रश्न विचारले. खंयच्याय सोसायटीन जो कोण फूड प्रोड्यूस करता, अन्न उगयता, ताका मॅक्झिमम फॅसिलिटीज दिवप आसता. कित्याक आमकां प्रत्येकाक फूड जेवण हें जाय आनी जो कोण जेवण प्रोड्यूस करतलो ताका गव्हर्मेंटान, समाजान सगळ्यांनी फॅसिलिटीज, सपोर्ट दिवपाकूच जाय. दीस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ फूड सेक्युरिटी फॉर द स्टेट, फॉर द सोसायटी. समाजाक लागून फूड सेक्युरिटी मेळपाक जाय म्हणून त्या डायरेक्शनान एक एटेम्प्ट आसलेलो. त्या एटेम्प्टान जालें कितें? खुबशे ओनर्स इन्क्लुडींग कोमुनिदाद तेंचे जागे असो कायदो येयलो की आतां टॅनंटांक वयतले, जो कोण कल्टिवेट करता ताका. बट इट इज नॉट एज सिंपल एज दॅट. एक सरान म्हटलें की ते 40 पैसे पर स्क्वेअर मिटरान घेता आनी मागीर आतां जाग्यांची रेटी वाडला म्हणून ते दुसऱ्यांक विकता. कायद्यान एक्चुअली अशें प्रोविजन ना. टॅनंटांक जागे काडून दुसऱ्यांक विकूंक मेळना. जो कोण फूड सेक्युरिटी एन्श्योर करता, गव्हर्मेंटाची आयडिया कितें आसलेली, तांकां सपोर्ट करप. नाल्यार टेनन्सी एक्टाच्या पयलीं कितें जातालें, शेअर ऑफ द प्रोड्यूस ओनराक दिवचो पडटालो. आतां जर आमकां हांगासरूच जितले लोक आहा, आमकां जर आतां शेतान देवा म्हटलें किंवा कॉन्ट्रॅक्चुअल सर्विसीस घेया म्हटले, 1.75 पैसे पर स्क्वेअर मिटर हे आमकां प्रोड्यूस करपाकूच जाय पडले. आतां जर ओनर कोण दुसरो आहा, ताका प्रोडक्शनान, कल्टिवेशनान इंट्रस्ट ना, आमी भाड्याक जागो घेतलो आनी आमकां जो आतां प्रॉफीट येतलो किंवा जे प्रोड्यूस येतले तितूंतले पर्संटेज 1/6% or 1/4% काडून ओनराक दिवचे पडले. जाल्यार जो एक्चुअली एफर्ट्स घालता पळय प्रोड्यूस करपाक, तो कित्याक घालतलो? जर तांकां विजिबली काय फायदो ना, एडवांटेज ना, बेनिफीट ना जाल्यार. सो जो कोण अन्न प्रोड्यूस करता, उगयता, तांकां सपोर्ट म्हणून टेनन्सी एक्ट येयल्लो. आतां वॉट आर चॅक्स एंड बॅलन्सीस टू दीस? सगळ्यान इम्पॉर्टंट चॅक एंड बॅलन्स जो आसा एग्रीकल्चर टेनन्सी एक्टाक, इट इज अनादर एक्ट. दॅट इज गोवा लँड यूज रेग्युलेशन एक्ट 1991. अंडर दीस एक्ट जे जागे टॅनंटेड आसा त्या जाग्यांचो लँड यूज चेंज करपाक मेळना. वी कम फ्रॉम, आमी जे काम करता सद्याक समाजान, सोसायटीन, आमचें काम लँड प्रोटेक्शनाचें. ते आमकां मागीर कोमुनिदाद करूं किंवा टॅनंट करूं. बट इफ यू आस्क मी ऑन दीस स्केल की आतां जर एक टॅनंट येयलो आनी एक कोमुनिदाद वालो येयलो आमचे कडेन फॉर हेल्प, की तुमी टॅनन्सीक हेल्प करतले काय कोमुनिदादाक हेल्प करतले काय म्हणून, आय वूड से आय वूड सपोर्ट अ टॅनंट. रिजनिंगूय दिता तुमकां. कोमुनिदादाचे कितलेशेच जागे, इवन दो कोड ऑफ कोमुनिदादान प्रोविजन ना, प्रायवेट पार्ट्यांक गेल्लेले आसा. देर इज नो विजिबल रेजिस्टन्स. कोमुनिदादाक जर सांगलें सुद्दां आमी की तुमचो जागो इनलिगली ट्रान्सफर जाला, कोण फायट करपाक रेडी ना. आनी कोमुनिदादाच्या बिहाफांतल्यान थर्ड पार्टी, NGO, एक्टिविस्ट फायट करूं शकना. इट इज बाय एंड लार्ज ज्याचो इंट्रस्ट आहा तेणी फायट करप. हांव बीइंग अ थर्ड पार्टी, इवन बीइंग एन एक्टिविस्ट ऑर एन NGO, हांव सांगूं शकना अरे तेणी तो जागो घेतला तो कोमुनिदादाचो जागो. म्हाका कोण विचारतले तुका कितें पडला, कोमुनिदादाक जर प्रॉब्लम ना जाल्यार. माझो लोकस स्टँडाय विचारतलो. हायकोर्टा पर्यंत आमचे तीच प्रॉब्लेम जाल्लो आहा. वी डोंट हॅव लोकस स्टँडाय टू चॅलेंज लँड ओनरशीप of Comunidade which has been for whatever reasons legal illegally given to third party. पूण तीच जर टेनंटेड जागो आसा जाल्यार बाय वर्च्यू ऑफ गोवा लँड यूज रेग्युलेशन एक्ट 1991 म्हाका थर्ड पार्टी म्हणून रायट मेळटा सांगपाक की ती टेनंटेड जागा आसलेली इनलिगली अमक्याक विकली, थर्ड पार्टीक विकली आनी तेणी लँड यूज चेंज केला. So as far as land use protection of the state goes, I will take side of a tenant. Provided Comunidade has to show some resistance, fight, की आमकां आमचे जागे परत जाय म्हणून. गव्हर्मेंटान एक्झिस्टींग प्रोविजन्स इतले आसा. Comunidade जर खऱ्यांनीच झगडटले आपले जागे परत घेवपाक, टेनन्सी एक्टान सुद्धा प्रोविजन आसा to get your land back. But first priority, if you ask me, is not the tenanted lands. For Comunidades, it is not the tenanted land because tenanted landang protection aha, land use change जावची ना, third party विकू शकचे ना tenant. There are provisions. The unprotected land is Comunidadaची non-tenanted lands. तुमचेच मेंबर्स, कम्युनिदादाचेच मेंबर्स इनलिगली तुमचे टोंबो 1, टोंबो 2चे पेजीस पिनता, प्रायवेट ओनर्स म्हणून लायता आनी मागीर विकतात. हेंकां जास्त फोकस जावपाक जाय. कित्याक हेंकां प्रोटेक्शन कांयच ना. मागीर तेंच्यांनी अफ्रमेंट करून घेतला, लीज करून घेतला, आपूण पोजेशनान आसा, कम्युनिदादा कडेन कांय ना. देर आर सो मेनी केसीस. थिये सुप्रीम कोर्ट पर्यंत केस गेल्लेली आसा. Comunidade लँड कोमुनिदादाच्या मेंबरांनी कनायवन्सान येवन प्लॉट करून जागे विकले. प्लॉट करून जागे विकले. देर वॉज वन मोर पार्सल ऑफ लँड विच वॉज अंडर टेनन्सी. नाव दॅट इज इजी टू रिक्लेम बॅक. एंड इवन फॉर अ पर्सन हू इज नॉट फ्रॉम Comunidade. So तुमकां एडिट असिस्टन्स मेळटले टू गेट युअर लँड बॅक इफ इट इज टेनंटेड. But if it is not tenanted, then it is only Comunidade who has to fight for it. थियेची केस अशी आसलेली, Comunidadan स्वता मेंबर्सांनी प्लॉट करून विकले आनी विकले ते विकले. गांवच्या लोकांकूय न्हू, गोंयच्या लोकांकूय न्हू. प्रोविजन नासतना बिलो 200 स्क्वेअर मिटर्स प्लॉटिंग मारपाक मेळनासलेली. तेंच्यांनी 70-80 स्क्वेअर मिटराचे प्लॉट मारून विकले. All Belgaum people and all those people who are selling vegetables and meat in markets, tenka vikle. How do you get back that land? Being a third party, I cannot fight on behalf of Comunidade till the time Comunidade doesn't give me a share or an authority. How do I help you to get your land back? And तुमकां कोणाक फायट करपाची इच्छा ना, मागीर कितें करपाचें in these circumstances? तुमकां जे आयज दिसता पळय टेनन्सी एक्ट इज द बिगस्ट कितें म्हणटा ते तुमचे दुश्मन एनिमी. इफ यू आस्क मी दॅट इज नॉट द केस. द लँड वीच इज नॉट टेनंटेड इज मोस्ट ससेप्टिबल टू गो अवे फ्रॉम युअर कंट्रोल. एंड वीथ म्हाजे घर स्कीम कमिंग इन नाव, आतां आनीक प्रॉब्लम तुमकां. म्हाजे घराक तुमचे कडेन आतां कावंटर कितें आहा, बिकॉज हार्डली फ्यू अशे बोटार मेजपाक मेळटा इतले Comunidadaंनी वचोन चॅलेंज केला. कितले Comunidadaंनी चॅलेंज केला मातशें हात वयर काडूं शकता? कितले जाले? कितले Comunidade आहा? 160 Comunidades इफ आय एम नॉट मिस्टेकन, करेक्ट? तुम्ही जास्तच फिगर सांगता. आय वॉज बींग कन्झर्वेटिव्ह. सो इन दॅट सर्कल हय, बट लुकिंग एट द नंबर ऑफ हँड्स एटलीस्ट 160 आसलेले. आय वॉज इन अ मार्जीन ऑफ 5%, पूण 223 आला. आय एम बिलो 3% नाव. सो नॉट इवन 3% ऑफ Comunidades हॅव चॅलेंज दॅट स्कीम. कित्याक? But even a single member being a component of Comunidade can go ahead and challenge it, no? Defunct सुद्धा असली कोण एकटो
They are known as Comunidades in default, where no elections have taken place. And there are 30 Comunidades in the south, which no elections have taken place. And now we are fighting for that, where they are trying to appoint a Mamlatdar, which is a conflict of interest. Will the Mamlatdar protect the interests of the tenant or of the Comunidad? And this 30 now we are trying to, some of these have been revived. And we are trying, the code itself under Article 51 has got provisions. If no election takes place, how to go about. You have to show 6 people willingness to be part of the committee. That's it.
हांगासर सर प्रॉब्लेम कितें जाला आतां कमिटी वचना बीइंग अ कंपोनंट ऑफ दॅट कम्युनिदाद इंडिविज्युअल कोण आसा पळय कंपोनंट तो वचो शकता न्हू कम्युनिदाद कमिटीकूय थंयसर रिस्पॉन्डंट करूं शकता दॅट इज नॉट हॅपनिंग एक्चुअली आयच्या दिसाक जर 223 कम्युनिदाद आहा गोंयांत जाल्यार 223 आयदर कमिटी ऑर कंपोनंट ऑफ दॅट कम्युनिदाद कोर्टान पावोंक जाय आसलेले तें जावंक
Sir, I fully agree with you because it's a shame for all the Comunidades who are, they only shout in this some of the WhatsApp this. Out of 223, how many have come out to support? And there are people here who are outside. I'll cite one example who is sitting here, is Mr. Gracias. He has contributed, to fight the court cases. And I request if there are many more, it's not too late also, they can join. But every time they join, the date goes forward.
No, dates go forward. No, I am also planning to file a petition on behalf of Comunidade. म्हाका एकटेन कोणी सांकवाळ कम्युनिदादाचो शेअर आहा म्हाजे कडेन ट्रान्सफर केल्लो.
Sankwal Comunidade is already there, sir, as a petitioner.
In spite of that, I am planning to file a petition. Whoever wishes to join as a component of those Comunidades who are not existing before the court, जाल्यार they can join me.
Yeah, thank you very much. I accept your this support.
Circle must spread kara because see, out of 230, 220 or 230, whatever the figure is, the 10% to courtan wachong na. And the defense what the government is taking now, ki je 10% Comunidade courtan gela no, त्या Comunidadan आमका application येवंक ना अजून माझ्या घराचे म्हणून. So taking this ground, they want to dismiss all these petitions now. मागीर कितें जातलें there will be no petitions before the court, the scheme will be open for everyone and anyone and everyone. So problem जातलो. So I suggest तुमच्या मदीं आतां कम्युनिदादा मदीं awareness जावपाक जाय so that above 90% of the Comunidade should be before the court challenging this माझे घर scheme.
Sir, तितून एकच सॉरी फॉर द इंटरप्शन. हितून समज स्टेजीन येयले न्हू आतां समज आमी पयले सावथ गोवा गेले मागीर नॉर्थ गोवा गेले आता आनी कोण थोडे Comunidade येयले सो एवरी टायम दे स्टार्ट ग्रांटींग टायम बिकॉज ऑफ द रिप्लाय सो हॅन्स फॉरवर्ड आनी थोडी समज स्टेजीन येयले ते इट विल गो ऑन ड्रॅगिंग दिस इज द ओनली इश्यू
ना पूण रिस्क ना बिकॉज सी देर वॉज वन प्रोविजन वीच वॉज इंट्रोड्यूस इन द इयर 2000 371A दॅट स्टील रिमेन्स बट दॅट कट ऑफ डेट हॅज गॉन ते गव्हर्मेंटान तेच डिसायड करूंक
ना ते म्हणिना सर हांव
Your case will get delayed, but no cases
because
will
it will be clubbed.
Tenchani approval दिवंक मेळना अजून. They have not given approval.
In case there is any application, as far as I know, and from the last hearing in the High Court, not a single application had come under Majegar asking for legalization of the illegal structures.
In your Comunidade.
Yeah, in our Comunidades, which are before the High Court. So we are waiting just even for one application to come to ask for a stay or a status quo, which is not happening. And all these applications which have been filed only for government land. Mokaso, Magir, Alvara land, all these lands. I'm only giving you a clarification, sir. I don't know whether I'm wasting your time, but
no, not my time.
Yeah.
Maybe their time.
Items that you have just said, that even as a component of a Comunidade, I can join you, even though the managing committee does not decide. This is a very good move, because as individual components now we can join you. And then the respondent will also be the managing committee of the concerned Comunidade.
Hello.
Which is a very good thing.
Hello, sir. My name is Mr. Leocario Montero, and you know me very well. That how I'm fighting
I know you,
with
sir.
all the protests. You know very well.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm fighting it from my heart, and it's as a Goan and as a Gaonkas of Bambolim Comunidade. Whereas you know very well, Bambolim, there are massive hill cuttings has been taken in fraudulent manner, and I have shared my 6 video to Fedrin Rebello just yesterday, and I think there's videos also might be having video. I don't know. I will be sharing it with you, where Fedrin Rebello have said enough is enough, where there are fraudulent hill cuttings. Tree cuttings has been taken on a slopey and a hilly area, and you know very well Bambolim is almost a hilly area and a slopey area. Now I also have shared, and I want to take an appointment with Fedrin Rebello along with you, because as a good activist I know how you are fighting, and you also know me how I am talking in front of the publics. Today Bambolim, all people have made the Portuguese passports. And on that Portuguese passport, they are having three passports, where, for my information, I know. That is why my Bambolim Comunidade has not gone for High Court. Before that. So I got the RTI documents with me. Just give me one minute. I have got 3 sale deeds of Bambolim Comunidade, huge property sold for Delhi people by the Gaonkas of Bambolim Comunidade and by the committee members of Bambolim Comunidade, which I have shared this to Fedrin Rebello. So I happened to go to his house just 3 days before, and he told me, Mr. Montero, as soon as I come from Bombay, I will phone you and give you the appointment. Yes. And that time I will see that I will take it to you.
Yes, sir, that will happen in
join
next
with
month.
me, because I have got a real 3 sale deeds with me, 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs square meters. And in that, there was one tenant, family member of the judge, named by Mr. Cholu Gowns. He was the judge, and he is staying behind the Holy Cross. That huge building which is there, he is staying in that. And his court matter was there going on in Bombay High Court. And I think he has been dismissed from the judge because of it is fraudulent, because his father and mother was acting as a tenant, named by Mr. Cholu Gowns. I don't know whether if you are aware about that advocate one is there.
Sir, keep your query with regards to the Comunidade.
Yeah. So,
we could discuss this later.
I'm talking about agriculture already. He knows.
Yeah, but we're not getting onto any point that's going to be helpful to others. That's all.
Okay.
It's a specific case. No, you get your documents in Panjin.
We'll
we'll
meet
look
Monday.
at it.
Yes. Okay, no, but thank you.
So, to me, a valid point raised kela regarding your Majegar scheme. Our interaction with the Comunidade member, there are 2 issues why they have not gone ahead with filing the PIL. Number 1, who's going to pay the lawyer's fees? When I interacted, Comunidades do not have the revenue. Second is they are not having the budget. Administrator does not sign the checks without the budget being approved by the administrator. These are the 2 issues which I see and which I have come across with some Comunidades, is they don't have the revenue, and they will not be able to pay these bills of the advocate. And therefore, I see the Comunidades not coming forward to file the PIL before the appropriate authority.
आमच्याकडे सद्याक 3 ॲडवोकेट्स आहा ग्रुपान. पळया तुमकां कोण हेल्प करता जाल्यार प्रो बोनो बीन, आनी जर कोण मेळना जाल्यार आय विल बी फायलींग. म्हाका कोण जॉयन जाता जाल्यार जाया. हय.
So, sir, just one small this. See, आता हे जे पळय सगळे फावट Comunidade गेले ते administrator he did not approve whatever advocate fees are there. आमी आमचे पयशे काडून एकल्यान हांव सांगता तुका 10,000 आनी हे पळय Sr. Zé Carlos Gracias. He is not a member. I don't know whether he is member of any of the Lotoli. Yeah. So he has contributed. Somebody else has contributed. So these are the issues. But कोणाक तरी फुशा आसत जाल्यार you come forward. Later on we will see whether we can take it from the funds of the Comunidade.
Yes.
But the main thing is, and then I have to appreciate also Mr. Nelson from North. He collected some 7 Comunidades, I think. Yeah. And तूं सांगता ते सारकें 223 Comunidades फकत उलयता एका ग्रुपान एकमेका तासपाचें आनी कांय ना. पूण इन प्रॅक्टिकल कांय ना. बरें you should come forward at least न्ही. बरें come with some contribution or small contribution. 223 1000 काडल्यार कितली जाली?
माझे उलोवन जालें काय कोण कोण इंटरेस्टेड आहा ते म्हाका मेळ्ळा. वी कॅन टेक दीस अहेड. हांव कंटिन्यू करता.
शानदार. When I was attorney, I have, made what you call complaints to the collector with the notification from administrator, because every encroachment, every illegality had to be complained to the collector.
Yes.
Okay. We met collector, but never no action was taken. We asked for inspection, no inspection was carried out. Afterwards, one, not even a component of the Comunidade, okay, encroaches into our property, about 54,000 square meters. First, he separates 10,000 square meters. Okay, that time I was not the attorney. Then he comes into, after selling that, but before that, I'll just tell you, the property, they had a property which was subdivided and sold. After selling that, he enters into Comunidade property. He sells that 10,000 square meters, comes into our, again, he wants, now he's not satisfied with that 10,000. He has made money, but still he wants to grab more land. So he comes into Comunidade property.
Quite common behavior.
Yeah, and not only that, this property was, the horticulture, agriculture department or horticulture had put cashew plantation into that, with the permission of our Comunidade. Okay, but he enters saying that it is my property. He enters, makes plots 77 to 300 square meters and sells them. Okay, we complain. Now from we went to the civil court from 29 to 2009 to 12. In 12 we got a stay on the entire property, 47/1 survey number. After that, we went, the case went on. He applied to the district court. This was dismissed. He went to the high court. He was told to withdraw and go back to the civil court and finish the court. Nothing happened. Then ultimately one judge came and he dismissed our court, saying that covering Comunidade does not exist, not promulgated. Okay, from there, we appealed to the again district court. We got a judgment saying that since there is a dispute between two parties contesting the property, so he said, okay, put the thumb plan on the survey map and identify this. We went to the high court. No, we didn't go. He went to the high court asking for a stay. And of course, it was our mistake perhaps not to file caveat. Okay, so, but he went to the high court and got a stay order. But before that, there was an inspection to be carried out. We paid all the money. The commissioner was appointed by the civil court. Okay, the inspector came, inspected the whole thing and went back. Okay, after that, he gets, on the same day of the inspection, he gets a stay from the high court, saying that he wanted no inspection to be carried out. Till today, we are in the high court, and we are paying money for the high court advocates, and we still the case is not being settled.
Can I give you a solution to this problem?
Yes, sir.
What is happening in any court case that you go, there is a cost awarded to the petitioner, cost to the respondent. Now, my auditor that came in, he said, the cost awarded to the petitioner, via the petitioner, is about 5,000 rupees. How the advocate has charged you, I don't know, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs. It is not in parity with the award granted by the court. I asked many of these under RTI, my ex-colleagues who are judges and all that, who has retired, "Arey Baba, ye cost ke dil tenkite." No, it's only for civil cases. Arey, civil cases? Auditor is telling me 5,000 you pay by check to the advocate, the remaining what you want you pay from your pocket. But this is my audit fee. That is the cost given as legal fees to your advocate. You cannot charge more than that. So in the very institution that you are going, you are defrauded. So this is my first point. Now, second point, that comes, all people are going to the courts because of a basic fraudulent nature of your Form 1 and 14. Now, Form 1 and 14 is what? It's a revenue document of the government. Government is the owner of the land. If government is the owner of the land, can there be a tenant inscribed in the Form 1 and 14? If there is a tenant inscribed in the Form 1 and 14, can he be a tenant of the government? What is the meaning of the government? And what is the meaning? Tenant is outside the government? So that is a fraudulent document because your land tenure tenure that is there, inscribed in Form 1 and 14, it is not there. These lands are not of the government. These lands are ours. In Gaon Karmare, we are the owners of the land. Without we, you're putting a Form 1 and 14. No courts can even adjudicate because they have no revenue land. And Justice Sabarwala, just before retiring, he said in his judgment, there are a lot of lands all over India and constitutional authorities do not have jurisdiction over this land. Even they cannot legislate on our land. What are you doing here? They are trespassing on our land. This is what is happening. We are marginalized. So this is, the injustice that is created. You cannot have tenancy. You cannot have any of these laws on our land. We are the owners. Ownership. Suppose you have a car. When you give the car on rent, the revenue proceeds by hiring the car is yours because you are the owner. Similarly, this hall is of PCCE because they are owners. So whatever lease they give, they are the owners. Land is where? Land is of the Goa government. How much are you taking from the land? Are you giving somebody on lease? Nothing. You're not doing anything but just inscribing fraudulent names out there. And that's too, you're saying that they're occupant. And sale they sub-register. What are you registering? What is the collector collecting in Goa? Coconuts, peanuts, kitek time on our land. These are all our lands. I'm Gaon Karmare. You leave us out. Lands are granted to the Goa government by the Comunidade. What is going on here in Comunidade?
But at the question to answer,
No, I'm making a remark. I'm making a remark as to my knowledge. My rights as a Gaonkar should not be diminished or alienated.
I do agree. I understand, sir. I understand your sentiments. But right now, this is not the
sentiment,
forum.
that's a fact.
Either bhayar suddha ulayle no dala, that is also not a forum. You need a correct forum to put forth these questions.
No, I'm enlightening all these viewers.
So we all know the position,
I'm telling them this is the position at law. This is our position.
Correct. We just need the forum. Correct forum. And some people
So where do I go with that forum?
Questions.
Hello. To the secretary, every panchayat. To the secretary. We have to go to every secretary who is coming in our village to ask him whether that whatever he does, giving the approval with the Form 1 and 14.
Which
so that
secretary?
question we are not asking.
No, which secretary?
So panchayat secretary.
तुम्ही म्हणता आता एक्झिस्टिंग कायदे लागत ना म्हणटा जाल्यार पंचायत सेक्रेटरी दिता ते कित्याक लागपाक जाय तुमकां ही बिकॉज पंचायत इज इलेक्ट
I agree with what you are saying. This is not the forum to discuss this.
Yes.
Because what they are talking about that Form 1 and 14 cannot be recognized is that that is come under Land Revenue Code.
Yes.
And you have just explained that the Land Revenue Code, I think, came in 1968. So from that time till now, the Form 1 and 14s have been existing. They have been recognized by every authority. And today, if we are going to talk about Form 1 and 14 not being applicable to us, doesn't make sense. And this is not the forum. If at all you are saying, someone is saying secretary, why secretary? You go and approach the courts saying that the Land Revenue Code should not be applicable to the Comunidade. Yeah, exactly. If you don't have evidence, now wait. No, let me ask you only one question. By discussing this here, will it change anything? No, it's not about Form 1 and 14.
No. See, 1 minute.
The land holding committee that was appointed by the state assembly.
When?
Babu Naik was there, Alu Bhutpat was there.
Approximately which year, sir?
In 1976 or something. They decided the land holding patterns of Goa. 90% of the lands were Comunidade. The rest was, temple land, Marzinias, Misericordia, and henceforth. You apply, the land revenue code on those lands, not on our land. To kitang koi bazai, Marikuma man bazai, or hall man bazai, do it on your land. Don't do it in coming to our land. Can you decide what is to be done in my house? If there are 8 rooms in the house, only 2 are occupied. Can you occupy the other 6 rooms? So this is what the government of Goa is doing.
See, what they are saying is very true. It is.
The service is not in the private land. The Panchayati Raj Act says.
See, it is. I'll put it in a different way. Let me start by asking you your question related to the Tenancy Act. Is the Land Tiller Act the same as the Goa Tenancy Act? Land to the Tiller Act. Land to the Tiller Act. There is an act called Land to the Tiller Act. Is it the same like the Goa Tenancy Act?
That is under Tenancy Act, under section 18, that provision was inserted in the act. Land to the tillers.
Okay, so which year it was?
1976.
Yeah. So
1976 it was inserted in the Agriculture Tenancy Act.
Yeah. No, this.
None of the properties belong to them. The panchayat is not applicable to us. The
So-
collector is not applicable to us. But the courts are not entertaining our cases. This is like another Epstein file.
My name is not there in that.
So let me take this tenancy thing forward. I agree with sir that the lands belong to the Comunidade. The full village belongs to the Comunidade. But आम्ही भाटकार झाले आणि we don't want to accept that because we
We are not saying Bhatkar. The land belongs to the community.
see that nobody is denying that. Okay. So also as regards to my Comunidade is concerned, we are always of the opinion that whatever land is saved is the tenanted land. The untenanted land or the non-tenanted land we have all distributed as plots and some other things, because tenanted land we cannot do that. So whatever is remaining is the tenanted land, and we are fighting against the tenants to get back the land. That is the advantages and disadvantages of whatever. So whatever is remained. The whole point here is, I want to make that Agriculture Department, TCP and all the concerned departments should come together as regards to the Tenancy Act. Why I am saying that? आम्ही रस्ते
हांव क्लियर करूंक एक गोष्ट.
No, I'll just complete my question. आम्ही रस्ते होंटा ते पयल्या. एक येता PWD, एक electricity, एक sewage line. All three are not coming and digging together. Now when you said that Land Use Act is there, now there is something called as what to say, agricultural, what was discussed now.
Tenancy Act.
No, the Agriculture Department is saying the Krishi card and all. Now the whole point here is, if that land is tenanted, how is it shown as settlement in the regional plan? So if the Agriculture Department, sir said that if they keep a record that this land is given for on subsidy for certain use or utilization of the land, how that land can come under settlement?
Okay.
So if
as per your opinion, कित्याक येयला?
Yes.
हांव reason दिता, but as per your opinion, कित्याक येयला आणि कशें येयला?
See, if it is tenanted and if the Agriculture Department gives that this land is used, it cannot come as settlement. That is what I am trying to tell you.
हय, पूण कशें येयले? कशें येयले आणि कित्याक येयले according to
So,
you?
no, it shouldn't come, no?
ना पूण आतां येयल्ले आहा
because
न्हू.
they have not.
आतां येयल्ले आहा न्हू.
सगळे डिपार्टमेंट बराबर मेळोन करूंक
आतां
ना
येयल्ले
ते.
आसा न्हू.
हय.
कशें येयले?
Because they have not consulted the Comunidade, they have not consulted the Agriculture Department when preparing the plan. The plan is of the village.
Okay.
So village belongs to the Comunidade.
हय.
So it was never consulted. The Comunidade is never consulted. The Agriculture Department is never consulted. Agriculture Department never says that this survey number, which they have given subsidy, is used for paddy or used for cultivation. So if that was used, then the TCP wouldn't plan. They shouldn't have planned. They should have asked all the departments which are related to the land, whether this is used and then only they should have prepared the plan, no?
आमचे प्रॉब्लेम कितें जाता जाणा
So
ना हांव सांगता ना हांव सांगता रे एक मिनिट हांव सांगता आतां हांव उलयतां तुमकां आन्सर दिता पयलीं
आता सर्वे चालू हा पळय
ना हांव सांगता तुका राव.
सो आता ती लँड सर्वे आता न्यू काढल्या लँड सर्वे काढून आता ते what they are trying to say, they are trying to say that this land is agricultural or non-agricultural.
म्हाजो एक क्वेश्चनाचो आन्सर दिता सर. फक्त सेटलमेंट आहा म्हणून तेजेर घर बांदूंक मेळटा?
That is what it is.
सिस्टम कितें सांगता? एक्झिस्टींग प्रोसिजर कितें आहा? फक्त सेटलमेंट आहा रिजनल प्लॅनान म्हणून बांदूंक मेळटा?
See, that is the first provision. What is
बांदूंक मेळटा काय ना?
सनद काढूंक जाय.
हा, सनद काडपाक कितें प्रोसिजर?
सनद काडपाक you have to put your file in 5 departments.
ना, एकाच डिपार्टमेंटान घालचें पडटा. थंयच्यान वयता तो रिपोर्ट. खंयच्या डिपार्टमेंटान वयता?
Agriculture.
एग्रीकल्चराक वचना.
कलेक्टरान डेप्युटी कलेक्टरान 5 फायली घालूंक जाय.
ओके.
एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंटान वयता. फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट
वचना. हांव सांगता एका
See, I may be confused, but when
तेकाच लागून सांगता. हांव कन्फ्युजन क्लियर करता न्हू तुमचें. तुमकां आतां खबर ना. तुमी सांगलें तुमी कन्फ्यूज. हांव सांगता न्हू.
why it goes to the agriculture department when you are doing subdivision of plots.
सर तुमकां खबर आसा काय खबर ना? तुमकां येता रे बाबा मागीर हांव सांगता आयकोन घे. हांव सांगता मामलेदाराक वयता स्पेसिफिकली चॅक करपाक ती लँड टेनंटेड आहा काय ना ती. आं अरे खंयची फायल? वीच रेकॉर्ड? अरे ते म्हटलं मामलेदार आपल्या कडेन लेटर येतो कोणी अशें दोळे धांपता ना ते टेनंटेड ना म्हणटा आनी परत दिता. हाऊ मेनी केसीस ऑफ सच नेचर यू हॅव? सेईंग वॉट? मागीर फॉर्म 1 and 14 टेनंट ना जाल्यार टेनंटेड कशी जाली? पळय यू आर गोईंग ऑन अ डिफरंट टेंजंट नाव. But problem is that you need clarity to understand how the system works. आता पळय बेस्ट अशें एग्जाम्पल दिता हांव तुमकां. एग्जाम्पल दिता. आमकां न्हू आतां एक क्रिकेट टोर्नामेंट करपाक जाय कमला प्रसाद यादवाच्या स्टेडियमाचेर. तोय कोमुनिदादाचो जागो हा बाय द वे. तोय कोमुनिदादाचो जागो. तेज्या स्टेडियमाचेर आमकां आतां T20 एक टोर्नामेंट करपाक जाय. क्रिकेटाचे रुल्स आहा. हांवें सांगलें ना हांव म्हाजो बॉल घेवन येतलो आनी ह्या बॉलानूच हांव म्हाजे गेम खेळटलो. खेळपाक दितले? कित्याक एज पर माय अंडरस्टँडींग एक बॉल जाय क्रिकेट खेळपाक. त्या बॉलाचें स्पेसिफिकेशन आहा न्हू. आमचें आतां प्रॉब्लम कितें जाल्लेलें आमकां सिस्टम करेक्ट करपाक जाय पूण करंट सिस्टम कितें आहा ती खबर ना. हांव सांगता ती सिस्टम आनी ही मेंटेलिटी घेवन आमी कांयच करेक्ट करूंक पावचे ना. आमचे मेन प्रॉब्लम आहा मिसकन्सेप्शन्स. आमकां एक्झिस्टींग सिस्टम आमकां गाडी कशी चलता ती खबर ना पूण आमकां फॉर्म्युला 1 रेसींग घेवपाक जाय. CM सांगता तो. हां सो आतां एज पर एग्रीकल्चर टेनन्सी एक्ट तुमकां टेनन्सी एक्टानूच प्रोविजन आहा जर कोमुनिदादाचे जागे टेनंटांक गेला अंडर सेक्शन 18 लँड टू द टिलर्स वीच केम इन 1976. 18K ते अंडर सेक्शन 18 मागीर 18K येयलो तितून बाकीचे आहा ते. सो एज पर दॅट प्रोविजन टेनंट्स डीम ओनर्स जाले. तरी आसतना एक्झिक्यूटर करपाकूच जाय प्रिज्युमींग दॅट दे आर डीम ओनर्स नाव. पूण ऑक्युपंट कॉलमान नांव येवंक ना अजून. स्टील इन द टेनंट कॉलम. जाल्यार टेनन्सी एक्टान प्रोविजन आहा देर इज अ सेक्शन 11 टर्मिनेशन ऑफ टेनन्सी बाय लँडलॉर्ड. प्रोविजन्स आसा. एक्झरसायज दॅट. एड टू दॅट आतां जर परचेस केली लँड गव्हर्मेंटान फाटल्या दिसांनी एक एमेंडमेंट हाडला सेक्शन 31A म्हणून जाणा. सो तुम्ही इवन जर सेल डीड केलेले जर आसा लँड, कोड ऑफ कम्युनिदादान सेल डीडाचो प्रोविजन ना, करेक्ट मी इफ आय एम रॉंग. इवन जर सेल डीड केल्लो आहा ऑर एनी अदर प्रोविजन विच इन्क्लूड्स टेनन्सी, आनी जर लँड यूज चेंज जाला, ज्या कामाक लागून जागो दिल्लोलो, बिसायड्स गोवा लँड यूज रेग्युलेशन ॲक्ट 1991, 31A कॅन हेल्प यू गेट बॅक युअर लँड. तेका फुडें आनी एक प्रोविजन आहा, आर्टिकल 1673 ऑफ द पोर्चुगीज सिव्हिल कोड. आर्टिकल 1673 कितें रीड करता? Holder of emphasis shall have right to enjoy the property and dispose of the same as his own subject to the restriction imposed by law. So 31A is law now. हे सगळे प्रोविजन आसा पळय ते यूज करा. आतां यूज केन्ना करतले? जेन्ना कळटले तेन्ना. हांव सांगता तोच कायदो म्हटले म्हणून कांय जावचें ना. कित्याक कायदो आहा तो पयलीं समजून घेवया. आय एम नॉट एन एक्सपर्ट, पूण खुबशे लॉयर्स आहा न्हू तुमच्या मदीं. देर आर मेनी लॉयर्स हू आर पार्ट ऑफ द कमिटी ऑर एटलीस्ट कंपोनंट ऑफ द कम्युनिदाद. तांकां विचारा. लॉयरांकूच सांगलें हांव सांगता तें आयक म्हटलें जाल्यार मागीर ते तुमकां सांगचे ना. सर तुमी कितें सांगताले?
वय सर, आय जॉयन एज अ अटर्नी इन 2019. जितले फॉर्म 114 आनी टेनन्सीचे हे नांवां आसली एज अ टेनंट, नॉट परचेसर और समथींग लायक दॅट, ते सगळे फॉर्मां भायर काडली. फॉर्म 3, फॉर्म 9 जे आर्कायव्हसून आहा ते सगळे भायर काडली. टोटल इन्फॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट केले तेंचे. ओके. आनी तेच्या उपरांत प्रत्येक जे आमकां नॉन कॉन्टेस्टेड टेनन्सी जे जालेले आहा डेक्लरेशन, we have opened all those cases back again.
Okay.
Against all those tenants. From the time I have come, no tenancy declaration has taken place, and we have opened all the old cases back again. Okay, now I have already contacted Sanjay Hegde, advocate of Supreme Court, and I'm going to meet him on the 11th of March to file a case against tenancy from Asagaon Comunidade. So we are all about action. We don't talk and just waste our time. We are taking 100% action. We have an entire list of all the tenants who are there, and we are going to challenge all of them from the Supreme Court directly. Now you will say, why I waited for 7 years? I didn't have the money for 7 years. The advocate in Supreme Court is charging me 25 lakhs to take the case and 2.5 lakhs per month. I have the capacity now to do it, and I'm going to do it. I'm setting a precedence. Please, people should not talk. They should come in the court and challenge the things.
Exactly. आणि आसागाव गांवांत तर करपाची अत्यंत गरज आसा.
We have a resident lawyer in the Asagaon Comunidade who sends notices to tenants and calls them here. None of the tenants have they are getting scared even to purchase also. Exactly. Because 18K is strongly. I have filed 3 writs of mandamus for all the illegal constructions that the tenants have done. Commercial establishments they have done. 3 writs of mandamus. And they are in court now, and the decision is almost coming through. Yeah, and ED also has attached. We have gone to the ED also to attach these transactions. And filing in the Income Tax Act also to find out how these tenants are selling the properties and where the money is going and from where they are buying the cars and the costly jewelry and all that they are wearing. So we have a different level.
Good.
Please, we don't talk. We do everything silently, but we act. And that is what the fear is there in Asagaon, that no more this committee is going to tolerate nonsense.
आणि आसागावांत तर सामकी गरजूच आहा.
Can I just speak for 1 or 2 minutes? Just a clarification. See, under that 18K, that deemed owner, the land is being given to the tenant at 40 paise. Of course, my heart also breaks when actually the price of land may be 5,000 or 6,000. Now, how do you correct the system? See, there have been land fields which are lying fallow for more than 30 or 35 years. I would just like to know which of the comunidades have got a negative declaration and got these fields back. Now they are criticizing us because we went to plant these fields and that Father George has given one receipt. I don't think anybody has filed a tenancy on a receipt given by Father George. And those names which are there, they are already there in Form 1 and 14. And we are taking on board all these people who are there as tenants because they themselves are scared. And nobody is cultivating his own land. I am also a landlord. I don't know whether it is a virtue. लोक रोखडे म्हणटा कितले नाल पडटा आतां कितली चुट्टो पडटा आमकां चड चुट्टो पडटा मोर दॅन नाल. But I'm telling no, none of these landlords actually go into the fields. They all go, the tenants, and that has been there are subtenants now. And that's how people are saying, अरे घाटी येवन येता रोयताय, बिहारी येवन रोयताय. आमी कोण शेतां वचपाचो नाही. कोणा कापास जाल्यार वचून दाखोय न्हू. कोराय. That is great. I appreciate it. I appreciate.
Sir, sir, no, we have to fundamentally understand one thing. What is the problem which this Agriculture Tenancy Act was supposed to solve?
Sir, दोनच मिनटां काबार करता. So आतां if we need to challenge this under that 18K, it is a real heartbreaking 40 paisa. Okay. Now I've gone through all this, and I've also I've been gone even to ex-judges to take their opinion, and they said that see there is a difference when government acquires land via acquisition, road widening. A field is paid at 5,000. Amka Melya, at least declared. But then if you have to go and question why this land is being given at 40 paisa, see there is an affidavit already filed in the Supreme Court and by Mr. Rane when he was there. And that is the reason that asterisk is come under 18K, saying that no change of use will be permitted from agriculture to non-agriculture. And now I think there is a legislation just, strengthening that portion of it. Now we need to challenge this. This thing has gone into the 9th schedule, which is very difficult to challenge. But if we have the capacity, let us all get together and challenge. What about Land Revenue Code? You want to challenge it? Challenge. You want a Panchayat Act? Challenge. But thus far nobody has challenged it. So this is the question.
If the government has acquired by Form 1 and 14, we claim government is the owner. If government is the owner, what is required in this land? And second point is, in the Agricultural Tenancy Act, there was an amendment that Comunidade
No, it will be for legal.
Yeah, one thing.
This is,
yeah.
Yes. Which settlement?
Settlement area.
Which is under tenancy.
Settlement area, we are changing also. Agricultural land is there. All land is become agriculture. Okay?
Okay, yeah, tell me.
And PCCE says settlement. Okay? Then we go for a conversion.
Yes.
Under conversion on one act, which act does it say that conversion is done? On 32 act. On the
Land Revenue Code, LRC.
Does the government granted a land because tenancy 32 Act section 32 says granted land. So does the government given a grant?
Have you challenged it?
Nobody has. This is what we have.
So then who is going to do it for us?
This is a matter of all.
Correct, but correct. But then who is going to do it? Who is going to do it? My question is to you is this, who is going to do it? Then? Why don't you? Great, let's wait for the result then, no? Oh, sir.
We have stopped the activity of the commercial activity conducted there through the Panchayat and also disconnected the electricity connection with the attorney and all my other support staff which was there. What are you going to say? Each one has to fight for themselves?
Exactly, that is what I am trying to say. That is exactly what I am trying to say.
No one will come to you, you have to fight for it. We have got 3 cases with the SIT also of Asst Comunidade. You know it, I think. We are doing on our own.
I'm giving you a very good example and about Sakwal Comunidade. गोंयान आयज पर्यंत खंयच्याय कॉम्युनिदादाची सगळ्यात जास्त जागा कोण घेवन गेला जाल्यार सांकवाळ कोमनिदादची 55 lakhs. 55 lakhs. साऊथ गोवान सगळ्यात जास्त ती आनी नॉर्थ गोवान मोपा तरी कोमनिदाद नासलेली, पेडण्यान चड कोमनिदाद ना. पूण गोंयान आयच्या दिसाक सगळ्यात जास्त 2 प्रोजेक्टाक लागून गोंयचो जागो डायवर्ट जाल्लो आहा तो मोपा एअरपोर्टाक आनी जुवारीस. सांकवाळ कोमनिदादान कितली फायट दिली ती आमकांय खबर आहा न्हू. आतां हांगा बसून सांकवाळ कोमनिदादान कित्याक करूंक ना, तेंच्यांनी करूंक जाय आसलेलें म्हणून सोल्युशन मेळचेलें ना. आमी कितें करूं शकता, दॅट इज गोईंग टू गेट अस अ सोल्युशन. आतां जर कोणी चॅलेंज केल्लेले आहा अंडर द लँड रेव्हेन्यू कोड ऑर दीस स्पेसिफीक प्रोविजन्स ऑफ लँड रेव्हेन्यू कोड, रावया रिजल्ट येयसर. आमी कितें करूं शकता. मग हांव एक्झॅक्टली तेच सांगतालो न्हू. आतां पळय तुमचो जागो इमिजिएटली वचपाचो आहा अंडर दॅट म्हाजे घर स्कीम, तेकाच कोण चॅलेंज करपाक तयार ना. But what exactly you are going to challenge in the court? But what are the prayers? What are the prayers? But Panchayat has taken. But what is the prayer? That is what my. Form 1 and 14 is part of land revenue code. So your prayer has to be challenging land revenue code.
There is no grant certificate.
I understood, sir. You're going on merits now. I'm asking specific prayers in your petition. Exactly. So you have to challenge it. आता ते पयली लँड रेव्हेन्यू कोड 1960साचो. आतां 2023 तुमकां 2025 म्हाज्या घर हाडला. तुमी म्हणटा लँड रेव्हेन्यू कोडूच एप्लिकेबल ना. म्हाजें घर खंयच्यान एप्लिकेबल जातलें? मागीर ते सोल्युशन कितें? कळ्ळें सर. बट हियर आमी सगळे जाण तुमी हय सायबा तुमी सांगता तेच खरें म्हटलें म्हणून सोल्युशन मेळचें ना न्हू.
I will give an example of the land revenue code. In 2004, our Lotolin Comunidade, 17.5 lakhs was acquired for the Verna industrial estate.
Yes.
And we all know when acquisition is done, the apportionment of compensation is done as per Form 1 and 14. So wherever tenants' names are there, 50% was apportioned to the tenants.
Yes.
Which we challenged in the district court. We challenged before the land acquisition officer and the matter went before the district court. And I was in the witness box. So our advocate, who is also, Advocate Andre Pereira, who is well known, and he is also with the same, this thing of, about the land revenue code as what is happening here. Now my advocate, Lotolin Comunidade Advocate Andre Pereira, he told the court the same thing, that the village of Lotoli is belongs to the Lotoli Comunidade, and there are no tenants. All these Form 1 and 14, the names that are recorded on the in the tenants column are fraudulently done, and they are not applicable to the Comunidade of Lotoli. So he wanted to bring the director of land survey in the witness box, which the court allowed. After we paying his whatever emoluments, he was put in the witness box. the Director of Land Survey. And our advocate Andre Pereira is questioning him, how did you bring in Form 1 and 14 and bought all these names of tenants in when the entire land belongs to the Comunidade of Lutolin? Did you all make any correspondence to the Comunidade? Did you all make any, the Comunidade the party to any of this exercise? So the Director of Land Survey gave a simple reply. He said when this Form 1 and 14 were promulgated, it was gazetted, it was published in the newspapers, time frame of 60 days was given for inviting any objections. No objections came. The exercise was done. The exercise was concluded. And again, after conclusion, when all these tenants' names came in the 1 and 14, that was made public in the Gazette. These things were kept in every panchayat, inviting objections to the Form 1 and 14 that have been promulgated. And wherever objections came, those were decided. And thereafter, it was made final. So there, the judge point blank told Advocate Andre Pereira that you cannot challenge the Form 1 and 14 at this stage, at least not in this forum. We have to accept it because it has been, like he has said, public was given time, no one has challenged it. And if you now also you want to challenge it, you approach the appropriate court. So that was, this is a practical example I am giving. Thank you.
So we need to end this session here. Please make it quick.
So how are you taking the money of the government? You shouldn't have taken that. If the acquisition is the government acquires its own land, this is what I don't understand. I could say that I have to challenge. I was not born at that time when the promulgation took place. I was not mature enough. 18 is the age of maturity. I was not mature to challenge this.
So all this reasoning has to be put before the appropriate forums.
Yes, and this is where I will interject and say we need to end this session here. Swapnesh, do you have anything else to add? Okay, now what is the idea of having, 1 minute ma'am, last time also you were bringing up certain things. What is the idea of having these programs? Not really, no. Did we really advertise that in the poster? No. Was that part of the itinerary? No. The idea, 1 minute, the idea was as a youngster, Josel is trying to get the Comunidades together. That is the main point. Now, the way I see it, I've been there for the last 3 meetings. We as Goans are educated idiots sometimes because, don't take it to heart, even I am. We tend to fight every little aspect of life, even though we are not in control of it. Sometimes there are ways and methods like the Asagaon Comunidade, if I'm not mistaken, that you can adopt or at least take advice from them if you can't afford the lawyers that they have. And one thing we don't do is we will never ask our neighbor for help or advice because sometimes we have that pride that, we know everything. And that is one thing in Goa, we are very egoistic. We have people with knowledge, we have the lawyers in place, but somehow that unity is not there. And the idea of these meetings is to bring that unity. And every program is to bring in something new. Today we tried to bring in the aspect of agriculture into Comunidade and how you could use that probably to save your lands from being sold or for any other commercial purpose. Then to solve your difficulties through someone like Swapnesh who's already on the field. And post-lunch we'll be having another panel discussion where many of your sentiments can be addressed again, but kind of restricted to something that's more reasonable. And for this forum, we understand the sentiments are strong. It's been there for a long time, but let's try to work towards a solution that we can and use what we have at the moment and not keep on thinking about the past. Otherwise, we're only living in the past, taking that forward and demotivating the young crowd. Because when youngsters look at the elderly people not united, what do someone like me take from it? Why do I waste my time here? I don't earn anything from this. So, it's like that. It comes down to that afterwards. So how are we keeping this together? How are we taking things forward? So anyways, thank you, Swapnesh, for your insights. We will now break for lunch.